It is a grey and rainy Tuesday in London. The rain hits the window of the office. Inside, Detective Jack sits in his big, old chair. He looks at the street below. People are running with umbrellas. They want to get out of the rain, but Jack is happy inside. He likes his office. It is warm and smells like strong coffee. Jack is a famous detective. He finds lost things. He finds missing people. But today, he is bored. There are no mysteries today. His desk is messy. There are old papers, a cold cup of coffee, and a half-eaten sandwich on the table. I need a new case, Jack says to himself. He picks up his cup, but it is empty. He sighs. Suddenly, the telephone rings. The sound is loud in the quiet room. Jack sits up straight. He looks at the black phone on his desk. Who is calling? He picks up the phone. Hello? This is Detective Jack. Mr. Jack, please help me. A woman's voice shouts on the other side. She sounds very worried. She is crying. Calm down, madam, Jack says slowly. He takes a pen and a piece of paper. Who is speaking? Take a deep breath. My name is Mrs. Green, the woman says. Her voice shakes. I live at the Green Mansion on Hill Street. You must come quickly. What is the problem, Mrs. Green? Jack asks. He writes her name on the paper. It is gone, she cries. My beautiful blue diamond. It is gone. Someone stole it. Jack's eyes open wide. The blue diamond is very famous. Everyone in London knows about it. It is very old and worth a lot of money. When did this happen? Jack asks. Just now, Mrs. Green says. I opened the box, and it was empty. The window is broken. Please, Mr. Jack. You are the best detective. You have to find it. I am coming, Jack says seriously. Do not touch anything. Do not let anyone leave the house. I understand, she says. Please hurry. Jack puts the phone down. The boredom is gone. This is a big case. A very big case. He stands up quickly. He puts on his long, brown coat. He puts his hat on his head. He checks his pockets. He has his notebook, his pen, and his magnifying glass. He is ready. He walks to the door and turns off the lights. Outside, the rain is still falling, but Jack does not care now. He has a job to do. He walks down the stairs and goes into the wet street. He calls for a taxi. To the Green Mansion, he tells the driver. And drive fast. The taxi moves quickly through the rain. Jack looks out the window. He thinks about the blue diamond. Who took it? Why? He is ready to find the answers. The taxi stops in front of a large, black gate. The driver looks at the house through the rain. He whistles. This is a very big place, the driver says. Do you live here? No, Jack answers. I am here for work. Jack gives the driver some money and opens the door. He steps out into the cold rain. He opens his black umbrella. The taxi drives away, and Jack is alone on the street. He looks up at the house. It is not just a house, it is a mansion. It looks like a castle from an old story. The walls are grey stone. There are many windows, but most of them are dark. Only a few windows on the ground floor have light. The light is yellow and weak. The house looks sad and scary in the storm. Jack pushes the heavy metal gate. Creak. The sound is loud and unpleasant. He walks up the long path to the front door. The garden is dark. He sees trees moving in the wind. They look like long arms trying to catch him. He walks faster. He stands in front of the front door. It is made of dark wood. There is a large gold knocker in the middle. It looks like the face of a lion. Jack lifts the lion's head and knocks 3 times. He waits. The wind blows his coat. He is cold and wet. He wants to go inside. Finally, the door opens slowly. A tall man stands there. He is wearing a black suit and a white shirt. He is very thin and has gray hair. He stands very straight. He does not smile. "Good evening," the man says. His voice is deep and cold. "Can I help you?" "I am Detective Jack," Jack says. "Mrs. Green called me." The man nods his head. "Ah, yes. We are waiting for you, sir. Please, come in." Jack steps inside. The man closes the heavy door. The noise of the rain stops. Inside, it is warm and dry. "I am Mr. Black," the man says. "I am the butler here." Jack looks around. The hallway is huge. The floor is made of white marble. A long red carpet runs down the middle of the hall. On the ceiling, there is a beautiful crystal light, a chandelier. It shines brightly. On the walls, there are big paintings of old people. They seem to watch Jack. "This is a beautiful house," Jack says. "Thank you, sir," Mr. Black says. "But tonight, it is not a happy house." "Where is Mrs. Green?" Jack asks. "She is in the drawing room," the butler answers. "She is very upset. The police are not here yet. She wanted to call you first." "Good," Jack says. "I want to see the crime scene before the police touch everything." Mr. Black points a long finger down the hall. "Follow me, sir." Jack follows the butler. His shoes make a squeaking sound on the clean floor. He feels excited. The game is starting. Somewhere in this big, quiet house, there is a thief. And Jack is going to catch them. Mr. Black walks to a large white door at the end of the hall. He opens it quietly. "Mrs. Green," he announces, "Detective Jack is here." Jack enters the room. It is called the drawing room. It is very fancy and very large. There is a fire burning in the fireplace. The fire is orange and warm, but the room feels cold. The walls are covered in dark green wallpaper. There are expensive chairs, sofas, and thick curtains. In the middle of the room, a woman is sitting on a yellow sofa. This is Mrs. Green. She is an older woman with white hair. She wears a long, elegant purple dress and many jewels, but she looks very sad. She holds a handkerchief in her hand. Her eyes are red from crying. When she sees Jack, she tries to stand up. Her legs are weak. "Oh, Mr. Jack," she says. Her voice is soft. "Thank you for coming. I am so upset. This diamond is very special to me." "It is okay, Mrs. Green," Jack says calmly. "I am here now. We will find it. Please, sit down." Mrs. Green sits back on the sofa. She points to a small, round table near the wall. "It was there," she says. "In its special box." Jack walks slowly to the table. He wants to see everything clearly. He reaches into his coat pocket and takes out a pair of white cotton gloves. He puts them on his hands carefully. He does not want to leave his own fingerprints on the clues. On the table, there is a small box. It is made of black velvet cloth. It looks soft and expensive. The lid of the box is open. Inside, the box is lined with white silk. But there is nothing on the silk. It is empty. The famous blue diamond is not there. Jack bends down. He looks at the box very closely. He takes his magnifying glass from his pocket. He looks at the velvet. He looks at the wood of the table. There is no dust. The table is very clean. Who touched this box? Jack asks without looking up. Only me, Mrs. Green says. I came into the room at 8 p.m. I wanted to wear the diamond for my birthday party. I opened the box, and nothing. I screamed, and Mr. Black came running. Jack turns and looks at Mr. Black. The butler stands near the door. He is quiet and still, like a statue. Is that true, Mr. Black? Jack asks. Yes, sir, Mr. Black answers. His face does not change. I was in the hallway. I heard a loud scream. I ran inside immediately. Mrs. Green was standing by the table. The box was empty. Jack looks back at the empty box. Was the box locked? No, Mrs. Green explains. The box does not have a lock. But the room was locked. I have the only key. She shows Jack a shiny silver key. Interesting, Jack whispers. He looks around the room again. It is a beautiful room, but now it is a crime scene. A thief was here. But how? Mrs. Green, Jack asks, when did you last see the diamond? This morning, she answers. I checked it at 10 a.m. It was safe. Then I left the room and locked the door with this key. I did not open the door again until 8 p.m. He stares at the empty white silk in the box. A beautiful thing was there this morning, and now it is gone. But if the door was locked, the thief did not use the door. Jack stands up straight. If they did not use the door, he says, then they found another way. Jack turns away from the empty box. He looks at the walls of the room. The room has 2 large windows. They are covered by heavy red curtains. Is there another way into this room? Jack asks. Mrs. Green shakes her head. No, just the door and the windows. But the windows are always locked. The gardener checks them every week. Jack walks towards the windows. The room is warm because of the fire, but near the windows, the air feels different. He feels a cold breeze on his face. The curtains are moving just a little bit. Mr. Black, Jack says, did you open these curtains? No, sir, the butler answers. I never touch them in the evening. Jack reaches out and pulls the heavy red fabric back. Whoosh. Behind the curtain, the window is not closed tight. It is open a few centimeters. The wind from outside blows into the room. Rain drops hit the floor. Look at this, Jack says loudly. Mrs. Green gasps. Oh my goodness. It is open. Jack holds up his magnifying glass again. He looks at the metal lock on the window. It is broken. There are scratches on the metal. It looks like someone used a strong tool to force it open. Then, Jack sees something else. Near the lock, there is a small hole in the glass. It is a round hole, very neat. Someone cut the glass, Jack explains. They cut a hole, put their hand inside, and opened the lock. He pushes the window up. He looks outside. It is very dark. The rain is falling hard. The window looks out onto the back garden. There are bushes and flowers below the window, but Jack cannot see much in the dark night. The thief came in from the garden, Jack says. He looks at the floor inside the room, right under the window. The carpet is dry in the middle of the room, but here, under the window, it is a little wet. This is how they entered, Jack states. They climbed through this window. They took the diamond. Then they climbed out. Mrs. Green looks frightened. But we were here. The house is full of people for my party. How did nobody see a thief in the garden? Jack turns around. His face is serious. That is the next question, Mrs. Green. You have a party tonight. The house is full. Who is in the house right now? Mrs. Green thinks for a moment. Well, there are my guests. There is my staff, the cook, the maid, the driver. And my nephew is here too. I need to speak to everyone, Jack says. The thief might be a stranger from outside. But maybe, just maybe, the thief is someone inside the house. He looks at the wet spot on the carpet again. The water is fresh. The thief was here very recently. Close the window, Mr. Black, Jack orders. But do not touch the broken glass. We will need to check it for fingerprints later. Jack takes off his gloves. Now, he says, take me to the guests. Jack follows Mrs. Green and Mr. Black out of the drawing room. They walk down the hall to the dining room. The door is open. Inside, there is light and noise. It is a party, but it does not feel happy. My guests are in here, Mrs. Green says quietly. They are waiting for the birthday cake. They do not know about the robbery yet. Jack nods. Let's go inside. They enter the dining room. It is a long, beautiful room. There is a very large table in the center. On the table, there are plates of expensive food, tall glasses, and bottles of wine. There are flowers in vases. It looks perfect. About 12 people are standing in the room. They are wearing fancy clothes. The men wear black suits and ties. The women wear colorful dresses and jewelry. They are talking and drinking, but when Mrs. Green walks in, they stop. The room becomes very quiet. Everyone looks at Mrs. Green. They see her red eyes. They see the tall detective in his wet coat. Aunt Mary, a young man calls out. He steps forward. He is about 25 years old. He is handsome, but he looks tired. His hair is messy, and his tie is loose. Who is this? Jack whispers to Mrs. Green. That is my nephew, Tom, she answers. He is the only family I have here tonight. Tom walks to Mrs. Green. What is wrong? Who is this man? Mrs. Green takes a deep breath. She looks at her friends and family. Please, everyone, listen to me. Something terrible happened tonight. The guests look nervous. They put down their glasses. My blue diamond, Mrs. Green says. Her voice breaks. It is gone. Someone stole it from the drawing room. A loud gasp goes through the room. Stolen, a woman cries. Here. Tonight. A man asks. People start to whisper to each other. They look scared. They look at the doors. Jack steps forward. He speaks in a loud, clear voice. I am Detective Jack. I am investigating this crime. He looks at the faces of the guests. Some look surprised. Some look angry. Tom, the nephew, looks down at the floor. He puts his hands in his pockets. Jack watches him. Why is he nervous? Jack thinks. Nobody leave this room, Jack orders. We need to talk. The thief might be far away, or the thief might be in this room right now. The guests stop whispering. They look at Jack with fear. But we are friends, a tall man says. We did not take it. Maybe not, Jack says. But I must do my job. I need to ask questions. I need to check the house. Until I find the diamond, this party is over. Mr. Black, the butler, stands by the door. He crosses his arms. Mr. Black, Jack says. Are all the other doors in the house locked? I think so, sir, Mr. Black answers. Check them, Jack says. Lock every door. Lock the front gate. No one enters. No one leaves. The room is silent. Outside, the thunder crashes. Boom! The lights in the dining room flicker for a second. The storm is getting worse, and the mystery is just beginning. Mr. Black nods at Jack's order. He takes a large ring of keys from his pocket. The keys jingle loudly. "I will secure the house, sir," the butler says. He turns and walks out of the dining room. His footsteps fade away down the hall. Inside the dining room, the guests are not happy. They look at each other. They look at the closed door. "This is ridiculous," a woman says. She is wearing a bright red dress. She stands up and looks at Jack. "I want to go home. I have children. I cannot stay here all night." "I am sorry, madam," Jack says politely but firmly. "I understand. But a serious crime happened here. The blue diamond is worth millions. We must wait for the police." "The police?" a man in a blue suit asks. "When will they arrive? The storm is very bad." Jack looks at the window. The rain is hitting the glass very hard. Smash, smash. The wind is howling. "The roads are wet and dangerous," Jack says. "The police might be late. But until they come, I am in charge. And I say nobody leaves." The guests sit down again. They look angry and tired. The party is definitely over. There is no music. The food on the table looks cold. No one wants to eat. Jack watches them closely. He looks at their hands. He looks at their shoes. Are their shoes wet? Are there scratches on their hands? He looks at Tom, Mrs. Green's nephew. Tom is standing in the corner. He looks at his watch. He taps his foot on the floor. He looks very nervous. "Is there a problem, Mr. Tom?" Jack asks. Tom looks up, surprised. "What? No. No problem. I hate storms." "I see," Jack says. He writes a note in his notebook. Tom is nervous. 10 minutes later, Mr. Black returns. He looks wet. There are drops of rain on his black suit. "It is done, detective," Mr. Black says. "I locked the front door. I locked the back door. I checked the windows in the kitchen and the library. The gate is closed. We are all sealed inside." "Good," Jack says. "Now we can start." Mrs. Green sits in a chair near the head of the table. She looks very weak. "What do we do now, Mr. Jack?" "Now," Jack says, "I need to know the timeline. I need to know exactly what happened today." He turns to the guests. "Please, stay here. Eat, drink, relax. Do not leave this room. Mr. Black will stand by the door." Jack looks at Mrs. Green. "Mrs. Green, please come with me back to the drawing room. We need to talk alone. I need to hear your story again, very carefully." Mrs. Green nods slowly. She stands up. Jack opens the door for her. The guests watch them leave. The room is warm, but everyone feels a chill. They are locked in a big house with a thief. And the thief is one of them. Jack and Mrs. Green are back in the quiet drawing room. The fire is still burning, but it is smaller now. Jack puts another piece of wood on the fire. The room becomes brighter. Mrs. Green sits on the yellow sofa again. She looks calm, but her hands are shaking. "Okay, Mrs. Green," Jack begins. He opens his notebook to a clean page. "I need to know your schedule today. Please tell me everything." Mrs. Green nods. "I woke up early," she says. "Today is my birthday. I wanted everything to be perfect. At 10 a.m., I came into this room. I opened the black box. The blue diamond was there. It was safe. Jack writes, 10 a.m., diamond safe. Then what did you do? Jack asks. I closed the box, she says. I walked out of the room. I locked the door with my key. I put the key in my pocket. I always keep it with me. Are there other keys? Jack asks. No, Mrs. Green answers quickly. Only this one. I am very careful. Okay, Jack says. So the door was locked from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. What did you do during the day? I was busy, she says. I went to the kitchen to talk to the cook about the cake. I went to the garden to speak to the gardener about the flowers. I talked to my nephew, Tom, in the library. Then, I went to my bedroom to rest. Did you hear anything strange? Jack asks. Mrs. Green thinks. No. The house was noisy. The servants were cleaning. The guests started to arrive at 7 p.m. And at 8 p.m. Jack asks, tell me about that moment. Mrs. Green closes her eyes. She remembers the moment. I came downstairs. I wanted to put on the diamond for the party. I walked to the door. I took the key from my pocket. I unlocked the door. Was the door still locked? Jack interrupts. Yes, she says. It was locked. I unlocked it. I walked inside. The room was dark. I turned on the light. Immediately, I felt cold air. I looked at the window. The curtain was moving. Then I looked at the table, and I screamed. Jack stands up. He walks to the spot where Mrs. Green stood. You felt the air. You saw the curtain. Did you see a person? No, Mrs. Green says. The room was empty. Did you hear footsteps? No. Did you smell anything? Jack asks. Detectives know that smells are important clues. Mrs. Green opens her eyes wide. Yes. Now I remember. I smelled something. It was faint, but it was there. What was the smell? Jack asks. He leans forward. Tobacco, Mrs. Green says. Cigarette smoke. I do not smoke. Mr. Black does not smoke. But someone in this room was smoking. Jack smiles. This is a good clue. Who smokes in this house, Mrs. Green? She looks sad. My nephew, Tom, smokes. And the gardener smokes too. Jack writes two names in his notebook, Tom and the gardener. Thank you, Mrs. Green, Jack says. That is very helpful. Now, I need to talk to the man who found you. I need to talk to Mr. Black. Jack leaves Mrs. Green in the drawing room. He wants to speak to the butler alone. He finds Mr. Black in the hallway. Mr. Black is standing near the front door. He is looking at the rain outside. Mr. Black, Jack says. The butler jumps a little. He turns around quickly. Oh, detective. You scared me. I am sorry, Jack says. He watches Mr. Black carefully. The butler is usually very calm. But now, he looks worried. There are small drops of sweat on his forehead. The hallway is cold. So why is he sweating? I have some questions for you, Jack says. Of course, sir, Mr. Black answers. He takes a handkerchief from his pocket and wipes his face. Ask me anything. How long have you worked for Mrs. Green? Jack asks. 20 years, sir, Mr. Black says proudly. I know this house very well. I know everyone here. Good. Jack says. "Tell me about tonight. Where were you at 8 p.m.? "I was here, in the hallway," Mr. Black says. "I was checking the guest list. Then I heard Mrs. Green scream. I ran to the drawing room immediately." "Did you see anyone in the hallway?" Jack asks. "Before the scream? Or after?" Mr. Black looks down at his shoes. He thinks for a moment. "No, sir. The hallway was empty. All the guests were in the dining room." Jack steps closer. He smells the air near Mr. Black. He smells soap and rain, but no tobacco. "Do you smoke, Mr. Black?" "Me?" Mr. Black looks shocked. "No, never. I hate the smell of cigarettes. It is a dirty habit." "Someone was smoking in the drawing room," Jack says. Mr. Black's eyes widen. "Impossible. Mrs. Green does not allow smoking in that room." "I know," Jack says, "but the thief smoked." Jack looks at Mr. Black's hands. They are shaking a little bit. The keys in his pocket make a soft sound. "You seem nervous, Mr. Black," Jack says quietly. "I am worried, sir," Mr. Black admits. "This is a terrible night. The police are not here. The diamond is gone. And, well, I feel responsible. I take care of this house." "Did you check the windows in the drawing room today?" Jack asks. "No," Mr. Black says quickly. "That is the gardener's job. He checks the windows from the outside." "Where is the gardener now?" "He lives in a small house behind the garden," Mr. Black answers. "But tonight, because of the storm, he is sleeping in the kitchen. He is waiting for the rain to stop." Jack writes in his notebook, "Interview the gardener." "One last question," Jack says. He looks straight into Mr. Black's eyes. "Does anyone else have a key to the drawing room?" Mr. Black hesitates. He looks to the left, then to the right. "No, sir. Only Mrs. Green. There was a second key, many years ago. But it was lost." "Lost?" Jack raises an eyebrow. "When?" "5 years ago," Mr. Black says. "But please, sir, nobody uses it. It is gone." "Nothing is ever truly gone," Jack says mysteriously. He closes his notebook. Mr. Black looks relieved that the questions are over. But Jack is not satisfied. The butler is hiding something. He is too nervous. And the story about the lost key is very interesting. "Thank you, Mr. Black," Jack says. "You can go back to the door. I am going to search the drawing room now. I need to find clues on the floor." "Very good, sir," Mr. Black says. He turns away quickly. Jack watches him go. He does not trust the butler. But first, he must examine the scene of the crime one more time. Jack walks back into the drawing room. Mrs. Green is still sitting on the sofa, but she looks very tired. Her eyes are closed. "Rest, Mrs. Green," Jack says softly. "I need to look at the room again. I need to look very closely." Jack takes off his long coat. He places it on a chair. He rolls up the sleeves of his shirt. He holds his magnifying glass in his right hand. "I'm going to search the floor," he says. Jack gets down on his hands and knees. He looks funny, like a child playing a game, but he is very serious. He starts at the door. He crawls slowly across the red carpet. He looks at every inch of the floor. The carpet is clean. The maids in this house work hard. There is no dust. There is no hair. Jack crawls closer to the small table. This is where the box was. He looks at the legs of the table. He shines his flashlight on the floor. "Aha," Jack whispers. What is it? Mrs. Green asks. She opens her eyes. Come and look, Jack says. Mrs. Green leans forward. Jack points to a tiny spot on the carpet, near the table leg. It is a small pile of grey powder. It is very small, like salt. Is it dust? Mrs. Green asks. Jack touches it with his finger. He smells it. No, he says. It is not dust. It is ash. Ash. Yes, ash from a cigarette, Jack explains. You were right, Mrs. Green. You smelled smoke because the thief was smoking here. He stood right here, next to the table. He was nervous. He dropped some ash from his cigarette. Jack takes a small plastic bag from his pocket. He carefully puts the ash into the bag. This is evidence. So, we are looking for a smoker, Jack says. He stands up and brushes his knees. Tom smokes. The gardener smokes. Maybe others smoke too. He looks at the distance between the table and the window. It is about 3 meters. The thief came in the window, Jack thinks aloud. He walked to the table. He took the diamond. He smoked a cigarette. No, that is strange. Why smoke during a robbery? Maybe he was waiting. Jack walks to the window. The heavy curtains are still moving slightly. The wind is still strong outside. Now let's look at the window area, Jack says. He looks at the floor under the window. He remembers the wet spot. He crouches down again. The rain from outside made the carpet wet. But there is something else mixed with the water. It is brown. It is dirty. Mud, Jack says. He follows the marks. There is a spot of mud near the wall. Then another spot. Then another. Footprints, Jack whispers. But they are not clear. The carpet is too thick. He looks closer at the biggest spot of mud. It is right next to the curtain. He brings his light very close. The mud is thick and wet. And in the middle of the mud, there is a shape. It is the shape of a shoe. Jack puts his face very close to the carpet. The smell of wet earth is strong. The mud is dark brown. It comes from the garden. Mrs. Green, Jack says, look at this. He points to the shape in the mud. It is not a whole footprint. It is just the front part of the shoe. The heel is missing. The person walked on their toes. They were trying to be quiet. It is a man's shoe, Jack says. It is very wide. And look at the lines. Jack uses his pen to point at the mud. There are deep lines in the mud. They go left and right. They look like teeth. This is not a party shoe, Jack explains. Men wear smooth shoes to parties. They wear leather shoes. This mark is from a boot. A heavy work boot. Mrs. Green looks confused. A work boot? But my guests are wearing suits and nice shoes. Exactly, Jack says. He smiles. This tells us a lot. The thief is not one of your rich guests. Or, if it is a guest, they changed their shoes. Jack takes a measuring tape from his pocket. He measures the width of the print. It is 10 centimeters wide, Jack notes. This is a big foot. Maybe a size 44 or 45. He stands up and looks at the window again. The thief climbed in. He was wearing big, muddy boots. He walked to the table. He took the diamond. He dropped some cigarette ash. Then he left. So, Jack summarizes, we are looking for a man. He smokes cigarettes. He has big feet. And he wears heavy boots with a deep pattern. He writes this list in his notebook. Smoker. Big feet. Heavy boots. Who wears boots in this house? Jack asks Mrs. Green. The gardener, she says immediately. He works in the mud all day. And the driver? Jack asks. Yes, sometimes, she answers. When he washes the car. And your nephew, Tom? No, Mrs. Green shakes her head. Tom always wears expensive Italian loafers. He loves fashion. Jack nods. He closes his notebook with a snap. We have some good clues, Mrs. Green. We have ash, and we have a footprint. Now, I need to look at the shoes of every man in this house. Jack puts on his coat. He feels energized. The first part of the investigation is finished. He knows how the crime happened. Now, in part 2, he must find who did it. Let's go back to the others, Jack says. I want to see Mr. Black, the gardener, and your nephew. He walks to the door. The mystery is getting clearer, but the night is still long. Jack and Mrs. Green walk to the kitchen. The kitchen is at the back of the house. It is a very different place from the fancy drawing room. It is bright, hot, and noisy. It smells of soup and bread. In the kitchen, there are 2 people. One is a woman in a white apron. She is the cook. She is stirring a large pot on the stove. The other person is a man. He is sitting at a small wooden table. He is drinking a cup of tea. This is Bill, Mrs. Green says. He is my gardener. Bill stands up slowly. He is a very big man. He is tall and has broad shoulders. His face is red from the wind and sun. He has short grey hair and a thick beard. He wears dirty blue trousers and a thick wool sweater. Jack looks at Bill. He looks like a strong man. He could easily break a window lock. Hello, Bill, Jack says. I am Detective Jack. Sit down, please. Bill sits down heavily. The chair makes a noise. Creak. He looks nervous. He holds his cup of tea with both hands. His hands are large and rough. There is dirt under his fingernails. I didn't take it, Bill says quickly. His voice is deep and rough. I don't steal. I work hard. I did not say you stole anything, Jack replies calmly. I just want to ask some questions. Jack walks closer to the table. He looks at Bill's feet. Bill is wearing heavy brown boots. They are covered in mud. The mud is wet. Nice boots, Jack says. Did you go outside tonight? Yes, Bill answers. The storm is bad. The wind is very strong. I went out to check the greenhouse. I was worried about the glass. The wind can break the glass. What time did you go out? Jack asks. Bill thinks. He scratches his beard. About 7:30 p.m. I came back inside at 8:15 p.m. Jack's eyes narrow. So, you were outside in the garden between 7:30 and 8:15. Yes, Bill says. The robbery happened at 8 p.m., Jack says. You were outside the drawing room window at that exact time. Bill's face turns pale. I was near the house, yes. But I didn't look in the windows. I was busy with the plants. Did you see anyone else in the garden? Jack asks. No, Bill says. It was raining too hard. I couldn't see anything. It was pitch black. Jack looks at the table. Next to Bill's teacup, there is a small packet. It is a packet of cigarettes. Do you smoke, Bill? Jack asks. Yes, Bill admits. I smoke. Is that a crime? No, Jack says. But the thief smokes too. Bill looks angry now. Lots of people smoke. That doesn't mean I am a thief. I have worked for Mrs. Green for 10 years. Ask her. Mrs. Green nods. Bill is a good worker, Mr. Jack. He is sometimes grumpy, but he is honest. Jack is not so sure. Bill fits the description perfectly. He has big feet. He wears muddy boots. He smokes. And he was in the garden at the time of the crime. Can I look at the bottom of your boot, Bill? Jack asks. Bill hesitates. Then he lifts his heavy foot. Jack looks at the sole of the boot. He remembers the pattern in the mud upstairs. The lines. The shape. He compares the boot to the image in his mind. Jack kneels on the kitchen floor. He shines his flashlight on the bottom of Bill's boot. He looks at the pattern in the rubber. He looks at the mud in the cracks of the sole. He remembers the footprint in the drawing room. It had deep lines going from left to right. It looked like teeth. Jack looks at Bill's boot. It has deep lines going from left to right. It looks like teeth. It is a match, Jack says quietly. He stands up and looks at Bill. Your boots made the mark in the drawing room. The kitchen becomes very quiet. The only sound is the soup bubbling on the stove. Bloop, bloop. Mrs. Green puts her hand over her mouth. Bill? Did you do it? Bill stands up quickly. His chair falls over with a loud bang. His face is very red. No, I did not. This is a lie. The evidence is not a lie, Jack says calmly. The footprint in the room is size 45. Your foot is size 45. The pattern is the same. The mud is the same. Bill looks at his boots. He looks trapped. But these are common boots. I bought them at the village shop. Many men have these boots. The driver has these boots. The farmers in the village have these boots. Jack nods. That is possible. It is a popular boot. And look at me. Bill shouts. He hits his chest with his big hands. I am a heavy man. I am 60 years old. My back hurts. The drawing room window is high. How can I climb up the wall? How can I climb through a window? Jack looks at Bill's body. He is right. Bill is very large and heavy. Climbing a wet wall in a storm is a job for a young, athletic person. It would be very difficult for Bill. That is a good point, Jack admits. It would be hard for you. Impossible. Bill corrects him. I cannot even climb a ladder without pain. Jack turns to the cook. She is watching with wide eyes. Madam, Jack says. You are the cook. What is your name? Mrs. Potts, she says nervously. She wipes her hands on her apron. Mrs. Potts, you were in the kitchen tonight, Jack says. Bill said he came inside at 8 p.m. Is that true? Mrs. Potts thinks. She looks at the clock on the wall. Well, yes. He came in wet and muddy. He sat down and asked for tea. Did he have anything with him? Jack asks. A blue diamond? A small box? No, Mrs. Potts shakes her head. He had nothing. Just his cigarettes. Jack looks back at Bill. The evidence is confusing. The boots match, but the man does not fit the action. Is Bill a very good actor? Or is the thief someone else wearing the same boots? Bill, Jack says, I believe you, for now. But you cannot leave the kitchen. You are still a suspect. Bill picks up his chair. I will stay here. I have nowhere to go in this rain. Jack writes in his notebook. Boots match. Bill is too old, heavy to climb? Common boots. Check other people. Mrs. Potts, Jack says. I have questions for you too. You are in the kitchen. You see everything. Mrs. Potts looks nervous again. I only see the food, detective. We will see, Jack says. Tell me about the knife. Mrs. Potts sits in the chair. She is a short woman with a round face. Usually, she has a kind face, but now she looks very worried. She wipes her hands on her white apron again and again. Mrs. Potts, Jack says gently, you are the cook. You know everything that happens in this house. The kitchen is the heart of the house. Mrs. Potts smiles a little. Yes, sir. I have worked here for 5 years. I love this kitchen. Tell me about tonight, Jack says. Mrs. Green said the party started at 7 p.m. Were you busy? Oh, very busy, she says. I had to bake the cake. I had to roast the chicken. I had to make the soup. I did not stop working. Were you alone in the kitchen? Jack asks. Mostly, she answers. The maids came in and out. They carried the food to the dining room. But between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m., I was alone. I was making the special sauce for the chicken. It is very difficult. You cannot stop stirring. Jack looks at the pot on the stove. It smells delicious. So, at 8 p.m., when the diamond was stolen, you were here? Stirring the sauce. Yes, sir, she says firmly. I did not leave the stove. If I stop stirring, the sauce burns. Did you hear anything? Jack asks. A scream? A breaking window? Mrs. Potts shakes her head. No, sir. The kitchen is at the back of the house. The drawing room is at the front. And with the storm outside, the thunder was very loud. I heard nothing until Mr. Black came running in. He told us to lock the doors. Jack walks around the kitchen. It is a very clean kitchen. Everything is in the right place. There are pots, pans, and spoons hanging on the wall. Did anyone else come into the kitchen? Jack asks. Mrs. Potts hesitates. She looks at Bill, the gardener. Bill is looking at the floor. Well, she starts. Tell me, Jack says. Mr. Tom came in, she whispers. Tom. Jack asks. The nephew. When? About 7 p.m., she says. He looked very stressed. He asked for a glass of water. He drank it very quickly. Then he left. Jack writes this down. Tom in kitchen at 7 p.m. That is very close to the time of the crime. Did he say anything? Jack asks. No, she says. He just paced around the room. He looked angry. Jack thinks about Tom. He needs money. He was nervous upstairs. He was in the kitchen before the crime. Jack looks at the counters. The kitchen is full of tools. Sharp tools. He remembers the window in the drawing room. The lock was broken with a strong tool. He looks at a wooden block on the counter. It holds a set of large kitchen knives. There are slots for 6 knives. Jack counts the black handles sticking out of the block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He stops. Mrs. Potts, Jack says slowly. There is a space here. Where is the 6th knife? Mrs. Potts looks at the block. Her face turns pale white. I don't know. Jack points at the empty hole in the wooden block. It looks like a missing tooth. Mrs. Potts, Jack repeats. Which knife belongs in this hole? Mrs. Potts stares at the block. Her hands are shaking. "It is the boning knife," she whispers. "It is a small knife, but it is very strong. It has a thick metal blade and a black handle." Jack nods slowly. "This is important." "A thick blade," he says. "Not a long carving knife. Not a bread knife. A short, strong knife." "Yes," she says. "That is the perfect tool to break a window lock," Jack says. "A thin knife would break, but a boning knife is strong enough to force the metal." Jack looks around the kitchen. He looks in the sink. It is empty. He looks in the rubbish bin. It is empty. "When did you last see the knife?" Jack asks. "I used it at 6 p.m., Mrs. Potts answers. "I cut the chicken. Then I washed the knife. I dried it with a towel. I put it back in the block. I am very organized." "So," Jack says, writing in his notebook, "the knife was here at 6 p.m. But now, at 9 p.m., it is gone." He looks at his list of events. 6 p.m., knife is in the kitchen. 7 p.m., Tom, the nephew, is in the kitchen. 8 p.m., the robbery happens. The window lock is broken. Did Tom touch the knives? Jack asks. Mrs. Potts thinks. "I don't know. My back was turned. I was stirring the sauce. He was standing near the counter. It is possible." Jack turns to Bill, the gardener. "Bill, did you take the knife?" Bill looks angry. "No. I have my own knife in my pocket. I use it for the garden." He pulls out a small, old pocket knife. "See? I don't need a kitchen knife." Jack looks at the pocket knife. It is too small to break a window lock. "Okay, Bill. Put it away." Jack thinks about the boots again. Bill has the right boots, but he is too heavy to climb. Tom was in the kitchen, but does he have the boots? Mrs. Potts, Jack asks, "Does anyone else come into the kitchen?" "Yes," she says. "The driver. His name is Arthur." "Arthur," Jack repeats. "Does Arthur wear boots?" Bill laughs loudly. "Ha! Yes, he does. Arthur and I bought our boots at the same shop. We have the exact same boots. Size 45. Brown leather." Jack's eyes light up. This is a big clue. So, Arthur has the boots. Arthur has access to the kitchen. And Arthur has access to the knife. "Where is Arthur now?" Jack asks. "He is in the garage," Mrs. Potts says. "He is checking the car. He wanted to drive Mrs. Green to the city tomorrow, so he is preparing the car." "But he was here earlier." "Yes," Mrs. Potts says. "He ate his dinner here at 7 p.m. Jack closes his notebook. "I need to speak to Arthur. If he has muddy boots and a missing knife, the case is solved." Jack pulls his coat tight around him. "I'm going to the garage. Stay here. Do not touch anything." He opens the back door of the kitchen. The wind blows rain into the room. Whoosh! Jack steps out into the dark, stormy night. He heads towards the garage. The walk from the kitchen to the garage is short, but the weather is terrible. The wind pushes Jack. The rain falls like a cold shower. Jack pulls his hat down low. His shoes splash in the puddles. He sees the garage ahead. It is a separate building. It is large, like a small house. There is a light in the window. Jack walks to the door and opens it. Inside, the garage is dry, but it is cold. It smells of gasoline, oil, and old tires. In the middle of the room, there is a beautiful, long black car. It is a Rolls-Royce. It shines under the bright electric lights. A man is standing next to the car. He is rubbing the door with a yellow cloth. He is polishing the car. He is wearing a driver's uniform, a grey jacket and grey trousers. He also wears a cap. "Hello," Jack calls out. The man jumps. He drops the yellow cloth. He turns around quickly. He is a young man, about 30 years old. He has dark hair and a thin mustache. He looks very surprised. "Who are you?" the man asks. "You are not supposed to be here." "I am Detective Jack," Jack says. He walks closer. "You are Arthur, the driver." "Yes," Arthur says. He picks up the cloth. "I am Arthur. Is there a problem? Did something happen to Mrs. Green?" "Mrs. Green is fine," Jack says. "But her diamond is gone. I am asking everyone questions." Arthur looks at the car door. He starts to polish it again. He seems nervous. He works very fast. "I don't know anything about diamonds," Arthur says. "I just drive the car. I fix the engine. That is my job." "I was in the kitchen," Jack says. "Bill told me you have the same boots as him." Arthur stops rubbing. He looks down at his feet. He is wearing heavy brown boots. They are covered in mud. "Yes," Arthur says slowly. "We bought them together. They are good boots for winter." "Let me see the bottom," Jack orders. Arthur lifts his foot. Jack looks. It is the same pattern. The deep lines. The wide shape. Size 45. "You have the right boots," Jack says. "And you are young and strong. You could climb a wall." Arthur laughs nervously. "Me? Climb a wall? No, sir. I am afraid of heights." Jack looks around the garage. In the corner, there is a suitcase. It is a brown leather bag. It is packed and closed. "Going somewhere?" Jack asks. He points to the suitcase. Arthur's face turns red. I have a day off tomorrow. I wanted to leave early in the morning. I wanted to visit my mother in London." "But the storm is bad," Jack says. "And you are polishing the car at 9 p.m. Why are you preparing the car if you are leaving?" "I always keep the car clean," Arthur stammers. "It is my duty." Jack walks to the car. He looks at the shiny black paint. Then he looks at the back of the car. The trunk, the boot, of the car is closed. "Arthur," Jack says, "open the trunk, please." Arthur steps in front of the car. "Why?" "There is nothing inside. Just the spare tire." "Open it," Jack repeats. His voice is hard. "Now." Arthur puts his hand in his pocket. He pulls out a set of car keys. His hand is shaking. He walks to the back of the car. He puts the key in the lock. "You seem very worried, Arthur," Jack says. "What are you hiding?" Arthur turns the key in the lock. He lifts the heavy lid of the trunk. The hinges squeak. Jack shines his flashlight into the dark space. The trunk is mostly empty. There is a large spare tire in the center. There is a red metal box for tools. There is a bottle of oil. "See," Arthur says. His voice is high and tight. "Nothing. No diamond." Jack ignores him. He looks at the carpet inside the trunk. It is clean, but in the corner, there is a small bundle. It is a piece of dirty grey cloth rolled up into a ball. "What is that?" Jack asks. I don't know," Arthur says. "Just a rag for cleaning." Jack reaches into the trunk. He picks up the cloth. It feels heavy. There is something hard inside. He puts the bundle on the floor of the garage. Carefully, he opens the cloth. Inside the dirty rag, there is a knife. It is a black-handled knife. It has a thick, strong blade. It is the boning knife from the kitchen. The missing knife, Jack says. He looks at the tip of the blade. The metal is scratched. It has white paint on it. The window frame in the drawing room is painted white. You used this to open the window, Jack says. He stands up and looks at Arthur. You have the boots. You have the knife. You have a packed suitcase. Arthur, where is the diamond? Arthur backs away. He looks terrified. No. No, detective. I did not do it. I swear. Then why is the knife in your car? Jack asks. I didn't put it there. Arthur shouts. Someone is setting me up. Someone is trying to blame me. Who? Jack asks. Who else comes to the garage? Arthur thinks fast. The nephew. Tom. He was here. Jack stops. Tom? When? Earlier tonight, Arthur says quickly. About 7 p.m. I was in the bathroom. When I came back, I saw someone running away from the garage. It was dark, but I saw his coat. It was a long beige coat. Tom wears a beige coat. Jack remembers Tom. Tom needs money. Tom was nervous. Tom was in the kitchen near the knives at 7 p.m. Did Tom come into the garage? Jack asks. I don't know, Arthur says. But the trunk was unlocked earlier. Anyone could open it. Anyone could put the knife there to hide it. Jack thinks. This is a possibility. If Arthur is the thief, why leave the knife in the car? It is a bad hiding place. It is too easy to find. Maybe you are telling the truth, Jack says slowly. Or maybe you are a very bad liar. Jack takes the knife. He wraps it in his handkerchief. Stay here, Arthur. Do not leave the garage. If you run, the police will catch you. Arthur nods. He sits down on his suitcase. He puts his head in his hands. Jack walks out of the garage. The rain is still falling, but Jack does not feel it. He is thinking about Tom. Tom was in the kitchen. Tom was near the garage. Tom needs money. Jack walks back to the house. He needs to find the young nephew. He needs to see his shoes and his coat. Jack enters the house again. He takes off his wet hat. He is cold, but his mind is working fast. He needs to find Tom. He walks to the library. The library is a quiet room with many books. The door is open. Inside, the room is dark. Only one lamp is on. Tom is sitting in a leather chair. He is holding a glass of whiskey. He looks very unhappy. Mr. Tom, Jack says. Tom looks up. He looks surprised. Detective? What do you want? I am trying to relax. Jack walks into the room. The air smells of old paper and something else. It smells of tobacco. You are smoking, Jack says. He points to the ashtray on the table. There is a cigarette burning there. Yes, Tom says. I am nervous. My aunt's diamond is gone. It is a tragedy. It is a tragedy, Jack agrees. And it is a mystery. The thief smoked a cigarette in the drawing room. Just like you. Tom laughs. It is a short, dry laugh. Many people smoke, detective. That proves nothing. Jack looks at Tom's feet. Tom is wearing black leather shoes. They are expensive Italian loafers. They are smooth and shiny. They are not heavy boots. Your shoes are clean, Jack observes. Of course, Tom says. I am a gentleman. I do not walk in the mud. Arthur the driver says he saw you, Jack says suddenly. He saw you running from the garage at 7 p.m. You were wearing your beige coat. Tom's glass hits the table. Clink. He stands up. His face is pale. Arthur is a liar. I was not near the garage. I was here, in the library, reading a book. Alone? Jack asks. Yes, alone, Tom admits. But that is not a crime. Why do you need money, Tom? Jack asks. Tom freezes. What? I don't need money. I am rich. I don't think so, Jack says. I see your clothes. They are old. Your watch is gone. Did you sell it? Tom sits down again. He looks defeated. He puts his head in his hands. Okay, Tom whispers. It is true. I have debts. I play cards. I lost a lot of money last week. I need £10,000 by tomorrow. If I don't pay, bad men will hurt me. So you have a motive, Jack says. You need money fast. The blue diamond is worth millions. I wanted to ask Aunt Mary for money, Tom cries. I didn't want to steal from her. She is my family. Show me your coat, Jack orders. The beige coat. Tom points to a chair in the corner. It is there. Jack walks to the coat. It is a long, stylish trench coat. Jack picks it up. It feels damp. It is wet from the rain. Jack looks at the bottom of the coat. The hem is dirty. There are small spots of brown mud on the fabric. You went outside, Jack says. The coat is wet. The coat is muddy. I went out for a smoke. Tom shouts. On the terrace. Not to the garage. I swear. Jack checks the pockets of the coat. He feels something inside the right pocket. It is a piece of paper. Jack pulls the piece of paper from the pocket of the beige coat. It is not a clean piece of paper. It is crumpled into a ball. Someone was angry when they put it there. Give that back. Tom shouts. He tries to grab the paper, but Jack is faster. He holds the paper up high. Sit down, Tom, Jack says sternly. This is evidence. Tom falls back into his chair. He covers his face with his hands. He looks like a frightened child. Jack carefully opens the paper. It is a short note. The handwriting is messy and ugly. The letters are written in thick black ink. Jack reads the note aloud. Tom, time is up. We need the money tonight. £100. Pay us by midnight, or you will have a broken leg. The Sharks. Jack looks at Tom. The Sharks. Who are they? They are bad men, Tom whispers. His voice shakes. I gambled. I lost. Now they want their money. If I don't pay tonight, they will hurt me. This is a very strong motive, Jack says. You are desperate. You need money tonight. The diamond is the only way to get that money. Tom looks up. There are tears in his eyes. I know how it looks, detective. I admit it. I went to the garden. I looked at the window. I wanted to take the diamond. Aha. Jack says. So you admit it? No. Tom shouts. Listen to me. I wanted to do it. But I couldn't. I stood in the rain. I looked at the wall. It was too high. It was too dangerous. I was scared. So I just smoked a cigarette and came back inside. I am a coward. Detective. I am not a thief. Jack studies Tom's face. Tom looks weak. He looks soft. Breaking a lock requires strength. Climbing a wall requires skill. Tom is a city boy who likes expensive clothes and card games. He does not look like a man who climbs walls in a storm. If you were in the garden, Jack asks, did you see anyone else? Tom wipes his eyes. He thinks, I was on the terrace. I saw a shadow near the kitchen door. It was small. It was running. A small shadow. Jack asks, was it a man or a woman? It looked like a woman, Tom says. She was wearing a white dress, or maybe an apron. I think it was the maid, Sarah. Sarah, Jack repeats. Why was she running in the rain? I don't know, Tom says. But she looked very scared. Jack puts the threatening note in his own pocket. I will keep this, Tom. You are in big trouble with these sharks, but maybe you did not steal the diamond. You are too weak. Tom does not know if he should be happy or insulted. He just nods. Stay here, Jack orders. I need to find Sarah. Jack leaves the library. The puzzle is changing. First, it was the gardener. Then the driver. Then the nephew. Now, a maid. Everyone has a secret. Everyone was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Jack walks into the hallway. Mr. Black, he calls out. The butler appears from the shadows. Yes, sir. Where is Sarah the maid? Jack asks. She is in her room, sir, Mr. Black says. She was crying earlier. She said she felt sick. Sick with fear, perhaps, Jack says. Take me to her. Mr. Black leads Jack away from the fancy rooms. They go through a small door behind the stairs. The air here is colder. The carpet is old and thin. This is where the servants live. They walk down a long, narrow corridor. There are many small doors. This is Sarah's room, Mr. Black says. He points to door number 4. Jack knocks gently. Knock, knock. Go away, a small voice says from inside. I am sick. Sarah, Mr. Black says firmly. Open the door. The detective is here. There is silence. Then, the sound of a lock turning. Click. The door opens slowly. Sarah stands in the doorway. She is very young, maybe only 18 years old. She is wearing a simple black dress with a white apron. Her face is pale, and her eyes are red and puffy. She has been crying for a long time. Can I come in? Jack asks. Sarah nods. She sits on her small bed. Jack enters the room. It is a very simple room. There is a bed, a small table, and a wardrobe. On the table, there is a photo of a family. I didn't steal the diamond, Sarah says immediately. Tears roll down her cheeks. I promise. I believe you, Jack says softly. He sits on a wooden chair. But you know something. Tom saw you in the garden. He saw you running in the rain. Sarah looks down at her hands. She twists her apron nervously. I was scared, she whispers. Why were you in the garden? Jack asks. I went to meet someone, she admits. Her face turns red. I have a boyfriend in the village. He works at the bakery. I wanted to wave to him at the gate. But the storm was too bad. So I turned around to come back. And then? Jack asks. Then I saw him, Sarah says. Her voice shakes. Who? The dark man, she says. I was near the kitchen door. I looked up at the house. I saw a man on the wall. He was climbing down from the drawing room window. Jack leans forward. This is the witness he needed. You saw the thief. What did he look like? It was dark, Sarah says. And the rain was heavy. I only saw his shape. He was big. He wore dark clothes. And he had a hood over his head. Did you see his face? Jack asks. No, Sarah says. But I saw something else. When he jumped down to the ground, something fell out of his pocket. What fell? Jack asks eagerly. I don't know, Sarah says. It was small and shiny. It fell into the mud near the rose bushes. Then the man ran away towards the woods. And you ran inside? Yes. Sarah cries. I was terrified. I ran to my room and locked the door. I thought he might kill me. Jack stands up. This is a huge clue. The thief dropped something in the garden. You are a brave girl, Sarah, Jack says. You saw the thief. He went into the woods. That means he left the property. But how? The gates are locked. The woods. Mr. Black says from the doorway. There is an old fence at the back of the garden. It is broken. A person could climb over it. Jack nods. So the thief is gone. But he left a clue in the mud. Sarah, show me exactly where he jumped. Sarah shakes her head. I can't go out there. It is dark. You must, Jack says seriously. We need to find what he dropped. It might be the key to the whole mystery. Sarah stands up slowly. She grabs a shawl to cover her shoulders. Okay, she says. I will show you. They leave the small room and head back to the kitchen door. The mystery is moving outside, into the cold, wet night. Jack, Mr. Black, and Sarah walk back to the kitchen. The kitchen is still warm and smells of soup, but the atmosphere is tense. Mrs. Potts turns around from the stove. She sees Sarah's red eyes and pale face. Oh, you poor thing. Mrs. Potts cries. She runs to Sarah and gives her a big hug. What happened? Why are you crying? Sarah sits down on a wooden chair. She starts to cry again. Her tears fall on the table. Drip. Drop. I saw him, Sarah sobs. I saw the thief. He was like a ghost in the rain. Bill, the gardener, is still sitting in the corner. He looks at Sarah. He looks worried. Did you see his face, girl? Bill asks. His voice is deep but soft. No, Sarah says, shaking her head. He had a hood. But he was tall. And he was fast. Jack stands in the middle of the kitchen. He looks at everyone. This is the end of his interviews. He has spoken to everyone in the house. He has many pieces of the puzzle, but they do not make a clear picture yet. He looks at his notebook one last time. Mrs. Green, the victim. She lost the diamond. Mr. Black, the butler. He is nervous. He lied about the old key. Bill, the gardener. His boots match the footprints. But he is too heavy to climb. Mrs. Potts, the cook. She was busy, but the knife is missing from her kitchen. Arthur, the driver. He has the knife in his car. He wanted to leave early. Tom, the nephew. He has a big debt. He needs money now. Sarah, the witness. She saw a man escape. It is a mess, Jack whispers to himself. Everyone has a secret. Everyone looks guilty. He looks at the window above the sink. The storm is getting much worse. The wind is howling like a wolf. The lights in the kitchen flicker. The electricity is bad, Mrs. Potts says. The storm is hitting the power lines. We must hurry, Jack says. He buttons his coat. Sarah, you must be brave. Show me where the shiny thing fell. If we find it, we can solve the crime. Sarah wipes her face with a napkin. She stands up. She is shaking, but she nods. Okay, detective. I will show you. Mr. Black, Jack says, get a flashlight. A strong one. Bill, you come too. You know the garden better than anyone. Bill stands up. Right. I will lead the way. Jack feels a moment of excitement. The talking is over. Now, the action begins. They are going out into the dark, wet night to find the missing piece of the puzzle. Jack opens the back door. The wind hits them immediately. Rain blows into the warm kitchen. It is cold and loud. Let's go, Jack shouts over the wind. They step out into the darkness. The wind is very strong outside. It pushes against Jack's body. The rain is cold and heavy. It feels like ice on his face. This way. Bill shouts. His voice is hard to hear over the wind. Bill walks in front. He has a large yellow flashlight. The beam of light cuts through the rain. Jack follows him. Sarah holds onto Jack's coat. Mr. Black walks behind them. They walk around the side of the house. The grass is wet and slippery. Jack almost falls, but he catches himself. They reach the wall under the drawing room window. Jack looks up. The window is dark now. It is high above them. Here, Sarah shouts. She points to a patch of mud near some thorny bushes. He jumped here, and the thing fell there. She points to the middle of the rose bushes. The roses have sharp thorns. Bill, shine the light there, Jack orders. Bill moves the light. The beam shines on the wet mud. Jack steps closer. He squints his eyes. The rain gets in his eyes. He wipes his face. I don't see anything, Jack says. Just mud and leaves. Look closer. Sarah says. It was shiny. Suddenly, a huge flash of lightning lights up the sky. Flash. The garden is white for 1 second. Then, a massive sound follows. It sounds like a bomb. The thunder shakes the ground. Sarah screams. Then, everything goes dark. The lights in the house go out. The kitchen window goes dark. The lights in the garage go out. The garden lights turn off. The whole world is pitch black. The power is out. Mr. Black yells. My flashlight is dying. Bill shouts. The yellow light in his hand flickers. It becomes weak. Then, it turns off. Now, there is no light at all. They are standing in the mud, in the storm, in total darkness. Stay still. Jack commands. Do not move. I am scared. Sarah cries. He is out here. The thief is in the dark. Calm down, Jack says. He reaches into his pocket for his own small flashlight. He clicks the button. Nothing happens. It does not work. Oh no, Jack whispers. Batteries. We must go back inside, Mr. Black says. His voice is trembling. It is not safe here. Where is the door? Bill asks. I can't see my hand in front of my face. They stand close together. The wind howls around them. Then, they hear a sound. It is not the wind. It is not the rain. It is the sound of a stick breaking. Footsteps. Someone is walking near them in the dark garden. Who is there? Jack shouts. There is no answer. Only the wind. Run to the house. Bill yells. Follow my voice. They turn and run blindly through the dark garden. They slip on the wet grass. They bump into trees. They are running away from the unseen noise, back to the safety of the dark house. They run through the back door and fall into the kitchen. Bill slams the heavy wooden door shut. He locks it quickly. The kitchen is pitch black. The storm outside is loud, but inside, the house is silent and scary. Everyone is breathing very fast. Is everyone here? Jack asks in the dark. I am here, says Mr. Black. I am here, says Bill. I am here, whispers Sarah. Where is the cook? Jack asks. Mrs. Potts. I am under the table. Mrs. Potts cries. I am terrified. It is okay, Jack says. We are safe inside. Jack searches his pockets. He finds his cigarette lighter. He does not smoke, but he carries it for emergencies. He flicks the wheel. A small orange flame appears. It is a tiny light, but it helps. Jack holds the lighter up high. The shadows in the kitchen are long and dancing. The faces of the others look pale and ghostly. We need candles, Jack says. Mrs. Potts, where are the candles? In the cupboard, she says. Next to the sink. Mr. Black moves to get them. But suddenly, a terrible sound fills the house. It is a scream. A very loud, very long scream. It comes from the front of the house. That is Mrs. Green. Mr. Black shouts. She is in the drawing room. Jack says, Come on. Jack runs out of the kitchen. The tiny flame of his lighter shakes in the air. He runs down the dark hallway. He almost trips over a rug. The others run behind him. Their footsteps are heavy on the wooden floor. They reach the drawing room door. It is open. Inside, it is dark. The fire in the fireplace is almost dead. Only red coals are glowing. Mrs. Green. Jack calls out, Where are you? Help me, a weak voice says from the corner. Jack moves the lighter towards the voice. Mrs. Green is sitting on the floor behind the sofa. She is shaking. She points a finger at the window. Someone was here, she cries. When the lights went out, I heard the window open. Jack moves the light to the window. The heavy curtains are open. The window is wide open. Rain is blowing into the room again. Did you see him? Jack asks. No, Mrs. Green says. It was too dark. But I felt him. He ran past me. He brushed against my arm. He smelled of wet wool and peppermint. Peppermint? Jack asks. That is a new clue. Yes, she says. And he ran out into the hall. He is in the house. Sarah screams. The thief is inside. Jack turns to the group. Stay here. Lock this door. I am going to find him. I will come with you, Bill says. He picks up a heavy poker from the fireplace. It is a long iron stick. I will hit him. Be quiet, Jack whispers. The thief is trapping us in the dark. We must be very careful. Jack and Bill step back into the hallway. The little flame on the lighter flickers. Somewhere in the big, dark house, someone is hiding. Jack holds the lighter high. The small flame dances in the dark. Bill stands next to him. He holds the heavy iron poker. He looks like a guard dog. We need to check the hallway, Jack whispers. The thief ran this way. They walk slowly down the long corridor. The floorboards creak. 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 The shadows move on the walls. Every shadow looks like a man hiding. They check the dining room. It is empty. They check the library. The door is closed. Jack opens it. Tom. Jack calls. I am here, Tom's voice says from the dark. I am sitting in the chair. I am too scared to move. Stay there, Jack says. Do not open the door. Jack closes the library door. Tom is safe, Jack says to Bill. Now, let's go back to the drawing room. I want to make sure everyone is together. They walk back to the drawing room door. Jack knocks. It is me, Detective Jack, he says. Open the door. The door opens a little bit. Mrs. Potts is there. She holds a candle. She found some candles in the cupboard before she ran to the drawing room. The light is soft and yellow. Is everyone okay? Jack asks. He counts the people in the room. Mrs. Green is on the sofa. Sarah is sitting on the floor. Mrs. Potts is holding the candle. Jack stops counting. He looks around the room. He looks behind the door. Where is Mr. Black? Jack asks. Mrs. Green looks up. Mr. Black. He was with you. No, Jack says. He ran from the garden with us. He was in the kitchen. Then we heard the scream. We all ran here. I thought he was behind me. Mrs. Potts looks scared. He was behind me in the hallway. I heard his shoes. Click. Click. But then, I didn't hear him anymore. He is gone, Jack says seriously. Jack looks at the floor in the hallway. The candle light shines on the wood. He sees something small and white on the floor. It is near the big grandfather clock. Jack picks it up. It is a small piece of paper. It is a wrapper for a sweet. A candy wrapper. Jack smells it. It smells strong and fresh. Peppermint, Jack whispers. He remembers Mrs. Green's words. The thief smelled of wet wool and peppermint. Jack turns to Bill. Bill, does Mr. Black like peppermint sweets? Bill nods his big head. Oh yes. He loves them. He always has a pocket full of mints. He eats them all day. Jack's eyes widen. The thief smells of peppermint. Mr. Black eats peppermint. Mr. Black is missing. Do you think? Bill starts to ask. Do you think Mr. Black is the thief? It is possible, Jack says. Maybe he faked the robbery. Maybe he has the diamond. Suddenly, they hear a sound. It is a loud thud. It comes from the end of the hall, near the stairs. What was that? Mrs. Potts gasps. It came from the door under the stairs, Jack says. He points his finger. The door to the basement. Jack walks towards the basement door. The mystery is going deeper. Down into the dark, underground room. The door to the basement is small and made of old wood. It is under the main stairs of the house. Jack stands in front of it. He holds his small lighter. The flame is weak. Bill, Jack whispers. Bring the candle. Bill takes the candle from Mrs. Potts. He walks to Jack. The light from the candle is better. It casts long shadows on the wall. Do we have to go down there? Bill asks. He looks nervous. I hate the basement. It is full of spiders and rats. We heard a noise, Jack says. Mr. Black might be down there. Or the thief. Jack turns the handle. The door opens with a long, loud squeak. A smell comes up from the dark hole. It smells like wet earth and old potatoes. It is a cold, damp smell. "Stay close," Jack says. He steps onto the first step. The stairs are made of stone. They are steep and narrow. Jack walks down slowly. Bill follows him. He holds the heavy iron poker in one hand and the candle in the other. They go down into the darkness. The air gets colder. It feels like entering a cave. At the bottom of the stairs, there is a large room. This is the basement. It is very cluttered. There are old boxes, broken furniture, and piles of old newspapers. "Mr. Black." Jack calls out softly. There is no answer. Only the sound of water dripping somewhere. Jack takes the candle from Bill. He holds it high. The light shines on the piles of junk. Jack sees a large spider web in the corner. He sees an old bicycle. "Look at the floor," Jack says. The floor of the basement is dirty. There is a thick layer of dust. "Footprints," Jack says. He points to the dust. There are marks on the floor. Someone walked here recently. The dust is disturbed. "Are they boot prints?" Bill asks. Jack looks closely. "No. These are smooth shoes. Like dress shoes." Mr. Black wears dress shoes. They follow the footprints. The trail goes through the maze of old boxes. It leads to the back of the basement. There is a brick wall there, and in the brick wall, there is a heavy wooden door. "The wine cellar," Bill whispers. "Mrs. Green keeps her expensive wine in there." The footprints stop at the door, Jack observes. He walks to the wine cellar door. It is shut. There is no handle on the outside, only a keyhole. "Is it locked?" Bill asks. Jack pushes the door. It does not move. He pushes harder. It is solid. Then, they hear a sound from inside the room. It is a muffled sound, like someone trying to shout with their mouth covered. Someone is in there. Jack says, and they are in trouble. "Stand back, detective," Bill shouts. He raises the iron poker. "I will break the lock." "Wait," Jack says. "Listen." They hear a rhythmic thumping sound against the door. "It is a signal," Jack says. "Someone is kicking the door from the inside." "Hello," Jack shouts at the heavy wooden door. "Can you hear me?" The kicking sound answers him. The person inside is alive, but they cannot speak. "We have to open this door," Jack says. He looks at the lock. It is a large, old iron lock. It is rusty. "I don't have a key, and I don't have my lock-picking tools." Bill steps forward. He looks very big in the candlelight. "I can break it," he says. "I am strong." "Be careful," Jack warns. The door is solid oak. It is very hard. Bill holds the iron poker with both hands. He takes a deep breath. He looks like a baseball player ready to hit a ball. "Stand back, detective," Bill says. Jack moves to the side. He holds the candle steady. Bill swings the heavy iron bar. Whoosh! It hits the lock with a loud crash. Sparks fly from the metal. The sound is deafening in the small basement. Dust falls from the ceiling. Again. Bill shouts. He grunts with effort. "Ha!" He hits the wood near the lock. The wood splinters. A piece of the door frame falls off. "One more time," Bill says. He is sweating now. He swings the poker with all his power. The lock breaks. The door flies open. It hits the wall inside. A cloud of dust comes out of the room. Jack coughs. "Good job, Bill." Jack steps into the room. It is the wine cellar. It is a small, cold room with shelves on every wall. The shelves are full of dusty glass bottles. It smells of vinegar and old grapes. Jack lifts the candle. The light shines into the center of the room. There is a wooden chair in the middle of the floor, and sitting on the chair is a man. He is tied up. Thick ropes are wrapped around his chest and his arms. His legs are tied to the legs of the chair. There is a white cloth tied around his mouth. He cannot speak. His eyes are wide with fear. He is shaking violently. Jack moves closer. The man turns his face to the light. It is Mr. Black, the butler. "Oh my God!" Bill cries. "Mr. Black!" Jack runs to the chair. "It is okay, Mr. Black. We are here." Jack reaches behind Mr. Black's head. He unties the knot of the white cloth. The cloth falls down. Mr. Black takes a huge breath of air. Gasp! He coughs. "Water, please." "We don't have water," Jack says. "But you are safe now." Jack looks at the ropes. They are tied very tightly. "Who did this to you?" Jack asks. Mr. Black looks at Bill, then at Jack. His voice is a whisper. "The ghost, the shadow." "Let's get him out," Jack says to Bill. "Help me untie these ropes." Jack pulls at the rough rope. As he works, he notices something. The knot is very special. It is not a simple knot. It is complicated. It loops around 3 times. This is a sailor's knot, Jack thinks. Or a climber's knot. The mystery of the thief is not solved yet. Mr. Black was a suspect, but now he is a victim. Or is he? Jack looks at the ropes again. Could a man tie himself to a chair? No. It is impossible. Someone else put Mr. Black here. Someone strong. Jack and Bill work fast. They pull the thick ropes. The knots are very tight, but finally, they come loose. The ropes fall to the floor. Mr. Black falls forward, but Bill catches him. "Easy, Mr. Black," Bill says gently. He helps the butler sit up straight. Mr. Black rubs his wrists. His skin is red and sore from the ropes. He rubs his jaw. There is a large bruise on his face. It is purple and blue. "You are hurt," Jack says. He holds the candle close to Mr. Black's face. "Did he hit you?" "Yes," Mr. Black whispers. He touches the bruise. "He hit me very hard." "Tell us what happened," Jack says. "We were all running from the garden. We entered the kitchen. Then we ran to the drawing room. When did you disappear?" Mr. Black takes a deep breath. He looks very shaken. "I was at the back of the group," he explains. "It was pitch black. Mrs. Potts was screaming. You were running. I stopped for 1 second. I thought I heard the front door open. And then," Jack prompts. "I turned around," Mr. Black says. "Someone was standing behind me in the dark hallway. I didn't see his face. I only saw a shadow. He was strong. He grabbed me." "Did he speak?" Jack asks. "No," Mr. Black says. "He didn't say a word. He hit me in the face. Everything went black. When I woke up, I was in this chair. I was tied up. I heard you shouting outside the door." Jack picks up the rope from the floor. He looks at the knot again. "This is a figure-8 knot," Jack says. "It is used by sailors. And by mountain climbers." Jack looks at Bill. "Bill, were you ever a sailor?" "No, sir," Bill says. "I have always been a gardener." I don't know anything about boats. Jack looks at Mr. Black. And you? I am a butler, sir, Mr. Black says indignantly. I fold napkins, not ropes. Jack puts the rope in his pocket. The thief is skilled with ropes. He climbed the wall. He tied these complex knots. This is a professional. Can we leave this basement now? Mr. Black asks weakly. I am cold. Yes, Jack says. Let's go back upstairs. We need to check on Mrs. Green. And I have one more question for you, Mr. Black. Bill helps Mr. Black stand up. They walk slowly out of the wine cellar. They climb the steep stone stairs. When they reach the top, the hallway is still dark. The storm outside is still raging. But Jack feels closer to the truth. Mr. Black is not the thief. The thief attacked him. Mr. Black, Jack says as they walk. You said you have a key to the drawing room. But you said the other key was lost 5 years ago. Yes, Mr. Black says. Who lost it? Jack asks. Mr. Black hesitates. It was Mrs. Green's husband. Before he died. He was a sailor. He loved the sea. Jack stops walking. A sailor. Yes, Mr. Black says. He was a captain. He taught many people how to sail. He taught his nephew, Tom, how to sail too. Jack smiles in the dark. Tom knows how to sail. Tom knows knots. Jack, Bill, and Mr. Black walk back into the drawing room. Mrs. Green sees Mr. Black and cries out. Oh, Mr. Black. You look terrible, she says. She stands up and holds his arm. I am fine, madam, Mr. Black says. He sits down on a chair. He is still weak. I was attacked. The thief tied me up in the cellar. The thief is very dangerous, Jack says. He stands in the middle of the room. He holds the candle. But the thief is also very smart. He knows knots. He climbs walls. And he wants to confuse us. Jack looks at Mr. Black. Mr. Black, check your pockets. Mr. Black looks surprised. My pockets? Why? Just check, Jack orders. Did the thief take anything from you? Your wallet? Your keys? Mr. Black puts his hands in his trouser pockets. He feels around. My wallet is here, he says. My handkerchief is here. Then, his face changes. He looks confused. Wait, there is something else. What is it? Jack asks. Mr. Black pulls his hand out. He is holding a key. It is not a shiny, modern key. It is large, heavy, and made of old brass. It looks dark and dirty. Mrs. Green gasps loudly. She puts her hand on her chest. That key, she shouts. That is the key. Which key? Jack asks quickly. The lost key. Mrs. Green cries. The key to this room. My husband lost it 5 years ago. I remember the shape. It has a star on the top. Jack takes the key from Mr. Black. He looks at the top. There is a small star engraved in the metal. Mr. Black, Jack says, his voice low and serious. Why do you have the lost key in your pocket? Mr. Black shakes his head violently. I don't know. I swear. I have never seen this key before tonight. I didn't put it there. You were the only one with a key, Jack says. Or so we thought. Now we find the second key in your pocket. He was framed. Bill the gardener says. Look at him, detective. He was tied up. He was beaten. Why would a thief tie himself up? To make himself look innocent, Jack replies. It is a classic trick. If Mr. Black stole the diamond, he needed an excuse. So he tied himself up. But the knots? Bill argues. You said they were sailor's knots. Mr. Black is not a sailor. Tom is the sailor. Jack stops. Bill is right. The clues are pointing in two different directions. The knots point to Tom, the nephew. The key points to Mr. Black, the butler. The boots point to Bill or Arthur. Someone is playing a game, Jack says. Someone put this key in Mr. Black's pocket while he was unconscious. They want the police to arrest the butler. Who? Mrs. Green asks. Who hates Mr. Black? No one hates me, Mr. Black says sadly. I try to be good to everyone. Jack looks at the key again. It is dirty. There is dried mud on it. This key was not in a pocket for 5 years, Jack observes. It was outside. It was buried in the ground. Look at the dirt. He looks at Bill. You dig in the garden every day, Bill. Did you find this key? No. Bill says. Jack looks at the window. The storm is still loud. The thief came from outside. Maybe he found the key in the garden years ago. Or maybe he dug it up tonight. Jack needs to see the garden again. He needs to see the shed. Bill, Jack says, take me to your garden shed. I want to see your tools. We must go outside again, Jack announces. He buttons his coat all the way to the top. In this rain? Bill asks. He looks at the window. The rain is hitting the glass hard. Tap, tap, smash. It is a terrible night, detective. The key was muddy, Jack says, holding up the old brass key. The mud is fresh. Someone dug this key up from the ground tonight. I need to see your tools, Bill. I need to see the shovel. Bill sighs. He takes the heavy iron poker. Okay. Follow me. The shed is at the bottom of the garden. Jack and Bill leave the warm house. They step out into the cold, wet night for the second time. The wind is even stronger now. It pushes them back. The trees in the garden shake violently. They walk through the mud. Their feet make loud squishing sounds. They pass the rose bushes where Sarah saw the thief. They pass the tall dark trees. Finally, they reach a small wooden building. It is the garden shed. The door of the shed is closed. There is a simple latch, but no lock. Is this always unlocked? Jack shouts over the wind. Yes, Bill shouts back. There is nothing expensive in here. Just pots and dirt. Bill opens the door. They step inside. The sound of the wind is quieter here. It smells strong. It smells of wet earth, fertilizer, and old wood. It is a very green smell. Bill lights a lantern that hangs near the door. The light is dim and yellow. It swings back and forth. Shadows move on the walls. Jack looks around. The shed is full of things. There are stacks of clay pots. There are bags of soil. There are long hoses coiled like snakes. On the wall, there are many tools hanging on hooks. There are rakes, hoes, and shears. Where is your shovel? Jack asks. Bill points to the corner. It hangs there. Jack walks to the corner. There is a large spade, a shovel for digging. Jack looks at it closely. He brings the lantern near. The metal blade of the shovel is covered in mud. But it is not dry, grey mud. It is wet, brown, shiny mud. Bill, Jack asks, did you use this shovel today? Bill shakes his head. No, sir. It was raining all day. I do not dig in the rain. The mud gets too heavy. Jack touches the mud on the shovel with his finger. It is wet. It is fresh. Someone used this shovel tonight, Jack says, while everyone was at the party, or maybe just before. Jack looks at the floor of the shed. There is mud on the floorboards too. Muddy footprints. They are the same size as the footprints in the drawing room. Size 45. The same pattern. The thief came here first, Jack says. He came to the shed. He took the shovel. He went to the garden. He dug up the lost key. Then, he put the shovel back. Why? Bill asks. Why put it back? Because he is careful, Jack says. He wants to keep the garden tidy. Jack looks at a wooden shelf above the shovel. There is a coil of rope sitting there. Is that your rope, Bill? Jack asks. Bill looks at the rope. Yes. I use it to tie up the trees. Jack picks up the rope. He looks at the end of it. It is cut. The end is frayed. This rope was cut recently, Jack says. And look. He pulls a small piece of string from his pocket, the rope he took from Mr. Black's wrists in the basement. He compares the two ropes. They are exactly the same. Jack holds the two pieces of rope in the dim light of the shed. One piece is from Mr. Black's wrists. The other piece is from the coil on the shelf. They are the same, Jack says firmly. The thief came into this shed. He took your rope. He cut it with a knife. Then he took it to the house to tie up the butler. Bill looks at his tools. He looks very upset. He used my things. He used my shovel. He used my rope. He is using my shed like a shop. Exactly, Jack says. This was not a quick crime. The thief did not just break a window by accident. He planned everything. He knew where the tools were. He knew the shed was unlocked. Jack walks to the workbench. It is a messy table covered in dirt and oil. There are many small tools scattered on it, screwdrivers, hammers, and pliers. Jack picks up a pair of heavy metal pliers. Look at this, Jack says. He brings the pliers to the lantern. The metal jaws of the tool are scratched. There are small flakes of white paint on them. White paint again, Jack notes. Just like on the knife. The window frame in the drawing room is white. So he used the knife and the pliers? Bill asks. Yes, Jack explains. He used the knife to cut the glass. But he used these pliers to break the metal lock. The lock was strong. A knife is not enough. Jack puts the pliers down. He looks around the small wooden room. The thief stood here. He prepared his tools. He felt safe here. Who comes in here, Bill? Jack asks. Who knows about your tools? Everyone, Bill says, waving his hands. Mrs. Green likes to check the flowers. The driver, Arthur, comes here to borrow tools for the car. Tom used to play here when he was a boy. Even the maids come here to hide and smoke cigarettes. So everyone is still a suspect, Jack sighs. It is not a stranger. It is someone who lives here. Jack looks down at the floor again. The muddy footprints are everywhere. But in the corner, behind a large bag of fertilizer, there is something else. The bag is moved slightly. It is not in its usual place. Bill, do you keep this bag here? Jack asks, pointing to the heavy sack. No, Bill says. I usually keep it against the wall. Someone moved it. Jack kneels down. Maybe they dropped something behind it. Or maybe they hid something behind it. Jack pushes the heavy bag aside. It scrapes against the wood floor. Scrape. Behind the bag, there is a small hole in the floorboards. A mouse hole? No, it looks like a hiding place. Jack shines his light into the dark corner. Something catches the light. It sparkles. It is small and bright blue. "Bill," Jack whispers. "Bring the light closer." Bill lowers the lantern. The blue light shines again. It is very beautiful in the dirty shed. "Is that?" Bill starts to say. His voice shakes. "Is that the diamond?" Jack reaches his hand into the dark corner behind the bag of fertilizer. His fingers touch something cold and sharp. He picks it up carefully. He stands up and brings his hand to the lantern light. In his palm, there is a blue object. It is about the size of a coin. It shines brightly in the yellow light. It catches the reflection of the flame. It is beautiful. It is the diamond. Bill shouts. He claps his big muddy hands together. "You found it, detective. You are a genius. Mrs. Green will be so happy." Jack does not smile. He holds the object very still. He looks at it with his serious eyes. "Hold the lantern steady, Bill," Jack says. Jack takes his magnifying glass from his pocket. He puts it close to the blue stone. He looks deep inside the blue color. "What is it?" Bill asks. "Is it broken?" "It is jagged," Jack says. "The edges are sharp, like broken teeth. The famous blue diamond is cut smoothly. It is a perfect oval shape. This is a jagged piece. Maybe the thief dropped it and it broke," Bill suggests. "Diamonds are the hardest stone in the world," Jack explains. "If you drop a diamond, it does not break like this. This looks like a broken window." Jack looks closer. Through the magnifying glass, he sees something inside the blue stone. He sees a tiny air bubble. Small, round, and trapped inside. "Look here," Jack says, pointing to the spot. "Do you see that small circle?" Bill squints. "Yes. A bubble." "Real diamonds do not have bubbles," Jack says. "Only glass has bubbles." Jack does one more test. He takes a metal file from the workbench. He rubs the metal against the blue stone. He looks at the stone again. There is a white scratch on the blue surface. "It's scratched," Jack says. His voice is flat. "A diamond is harder than steel. You cannot scratch a diamond with a metal file. But you can scratch glass." Bill's face falls. He looks disappointed. "So, it is not the diamond?" "No," Jack says. "It is a piece of blue glass." "But where did it come from?" Bill asks. "We don't have blue glass in the garden." Jack thinks. He remembers the hallway in the big house. He remembers the big, beautiful light hanging from the ceiling. The chandelier. "The chandelier in the main hall," Jack says. "Does it have blue pieces?" Bill thinks. "No. It is clear crystal. White." "What about a vase?" Jack asks. "Or a bottle?" "Mrs. Green has a collection of blue bottles," Bill says. "In the library. She loves blue glass." Jack closes his hand over the piece of glass. "The thief brought this here. Or maybe." Jack stops. He looks at the glass again. It is curved. It looks like a piece of a thick bottle. "This is not a clue to find the diamond," Jack says. "This is a trick. Or it is trash. But it was hidden behind the bag. Someone hid it there." Jack puts the blue glass in his evidence bag. We have found tools, Jack summarizes. We have found ropes. We have found a piece of glass. But we still do not have the diamond. And the thief is still free. What do we do now? Bill asks. He looks cold and tired. We go back inside, Jack says. I need to talk to Mrs. Green again. I need to ask her about fake diamonds. And I need to know if she has a safe. A safe? Bill asks. Yes, Jack says. Rich people often have a secret safe. Maybe the diamond in the box was not the real one. Maybe the real one is still hidden. Jack opens the door of the shed. The wind hits them again. Come on, Bill, Jack says. The answer is back in the house. Jack and Bill run back to the house. The rain is still falling, but they do not care. They run into the kitchen, through the dark hallway, and into the drawing room. Mrs. Green, Mrs. Potts, and Sarah are waiting there. They look up when the door opens. They see Jack holding a plastic bag. Inside the bag, something blue shines in the candlelight. You found it. Mrs. Green cries. She tries to stand up, but she is too weak. My diamond. Oh, thank you. Mrs. Potts clasps her hands together. A miracle, she says. Jack walks to the table. He puts the bag down. The blue piece of glass sits on the table. It looks pretty, but Jack looks serious. Do not celebrate yet, Jack says. His voice is cold. What do you mean? Mrs. Green asks. Her smile disappears. Look closely, Jack says. This is blue. It is shiny. It looks like a diamond. But it is not a diamond. What? Tom asks. He is standing by the fireplace. He looks confused. It looks real to me. It is glass, Jack says. Common, cheap, blue glass. I scratched it with a metal tool. You cannot scratch a diamond. And inside, there are bubbles. Diamonds are perfect. This thing is full of air. Mrs. Green looks at the piece of blue glass. She looks confused. But, why? Where did you find it? In the garden shed, Jack answers. Hidden behind a bag of fertilizer. I don't understand, Sarah says. Why would the thief hide a piece of glass? Jack looks at everyone in the room. He is thinking very hard. There are two possibilities, Jack explains. Possibility 1. The thief broke something blue in the house. Maybe a vase or a bottle. And he hid the broken piece in the shed. Jack looks at Tom. Tom, did you break anything? No. Tom says defensive. Possibility 2, Jack continues. And this is more interesting. Maybe the thief thought this was the diamond. That is stupid, Bill says. It is just a piece of glass. Yes, Jack agrees. But imagine this. The thief steals the diamond from the box. He runs to the shed. He looks at it in the light. He sees it is fake. He sees it is glass. He gets angry. He throws it on the floor. It breaks. He hides the pieces. The room is very silent. The candle flickers. Jack turns slowly to Mrs. Green. He looks her in the eyes. Mrs. Green, Jack asks slowly, was the diamond in the black box real? Or was it a fake copy? Mrs. Green's face turns very red. She looks at her hands. She does not speak for a long time. Mrs. Green. Jack repeats, tell me the truth. It was a copy, she whispers. Everyone in the room gasps. A copy. Tom shouts. You mean the blue diamond was never there? It is too dangerous to keep the real diamond in a box on the table. Mrs. Green cries. Thieves are everywhere. I keep a glass copy in the box for parties. The real diamond is safe. Jack smiles. Aha! So the thief stole a piece of glass. He risked prison for nothing. But, Jack says, leaning forward, if the real diamond is safe, where is it? The room is silent. Everyone is looking at Mrs. Green. The beautiful, rich woman looks very small on the yellow sofa. She holds her handkerchief tightly. You lied to me, Jack says. His voice is calm, but his eyes are hard. I have been running in the rain. I have been looking for a diamond. But there was no diamond. I am sorry, Mr. Jack, Mrs. Green says. I didn't mean to lie. I was just protecting my property. Tom steps forward. He looks furious. His face is red. Aunt Mary, this is crazy. You called the police. You called a detective. For a piece of glass. I wanted to catch the thief. Mrs. Green argues. Someone broke into my house. Someone broke my window. That is a crime. It does not matter if they took glass or a diamond. They are a criminal. She is right, Jack admits. Breaking and entering is a crime. Attempted theft is a crime. But Mrs. Green, you made my job very difficult. If I knew it was glass, I would look for different clues. Jack sits down on the chair opposite Mrs. Green. Now, we must be serious. The thief stole the glass copy. He probably discovered it was fake. That is why he broke it. That is why he threw it in the shed. He was angry, Bill says. He did all that work for nothing. Exactly, Jack says. And an angry thief is a dangerous thief. He is still here. And he still wants the money. Jack leans closer to Mrs. Green. The thief is still in the house. He knows the glass was a trick. He will come back. He will look for the real diamond. Mrs. Green's eyes go wide with fear. Oh no. Do you think so? Yes, Jack says. So you must tell me now. Where is the real blue diamond? Is it in the bank? Mrs. Green shakes her head. No. I like to keep it close to me. I like to look at it. Is it in your bedroom? Jack asks. No, she says. Is it in this room? Jack asks. Mrs. Green looks at the door. She looks at the window. She whispers. Yes. It is in this room. It has been here the whole time. Tom looks around the room frantically. He looks at the vases, the books, the clock. Where? I don't see it. It is hidden, Mrs. Green says. In a secret place. My husband built it many years ago. Jack stands up. Show us, Mrs. Green. We need to check it. We need to make sure the real diamond is still safe. If the thief found the glass one, maybe he found the real one too. Mrs. Green stands up slowly. Her legs are shaking. She walks towards the fireplace. Above the fireplace, there is a large, beautiful painting. It is a painting of a ship on the ocean. It is behind the painting, Mrs. Green says. A wall safe, Jack says. Classic. But, Mrs. Green adds, only I know the code. And only I have the key to move the painting. Are you sure? Jack asks, because the thief seems to know a lot about this house. Mrs. Green stands in front of the large painting of the ship. The ship in the picture is fighting a storm on a dark ocean. The waves are high and white. My husband painted this, Mrs. Green says softly. He loved the sea. And he loved secrets. It is a beautiful painting, Jack says. But we are interested in what is behind it. Tom is standing very close. He is staring at the painting. His hands are shaking. Aunt Mary, Tom asks, how much is the real diamond worth? Is it really worth millions? Mrs. Green nods. Yes, Tom. It is worth £2 million. That is why the insurance company told me to buy a safe. They told me to make a glass copy. They said, Mrs. Green, thieves are smart. You must be smarter. £2 million, Tom whispers. He looks like he is going to faint. He wipes sweat from his forehead. That is a lot of money. Yes, Jack says, watching Tom carefully. Enough money to pay a debt of £10,000. Enough money to buy a new life. Tom looks at Jack angrily. I told you, I didn't steal it. I am just surprised. We will see, Jack says. Jack turns to Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green, please open the safe. We need to check if the diamond is still there. If the thief knew about the glass copy, maybe he knew about the safe too. Impossible, Mrs. Green says. Nobody knows about the safe. Only me. And your husband, Jack reminds her. My husband is dead, she says. But he taught people about sailing, Jack says. He taught Tom. Maybe he told stories? Maybe he talked about his secrets. Tom shakes his head. Uncle never told me about a safe. He just taught me how to tie knots and how to steer a boat. Knots, Jack repeats. He touches the piece of rope in his pocket. The clues are connecting. The painting of the ship. The sailor knots in the basement. The lost key found in the mud. Open it, please, Jack says. Mrs. Green reaches up. She touches the side of the gold picture frame. She presses a small, hidden button in the wood. Suddenly, the heavy painting moves. It swings forward like a door. Behind the painting, there is a metal door set into the wall. It is a grey steel safe. It looks very strong. It has a round dial with numbers on it. There it is, Mrs. Green says proudly. The Green family safe. It looks untouched, Bill says. There are no scratches on the metal. See? Mrs. Green smiles. I told you. The thief took the glass one on the table. He did not touch the real one. The blue diamond is safe inside. Open it, Jack says again. He does not smile. He has a bad feeling in his stomach. I want to see the diamond with my own eyes. Mrs. Green sighs. You are very suspicious, Mr. Jack. Okay. I will open it. She steps closer to the safe. She puts her hand on the dial. She starts to turn it. Spin. Spin. Stop. Left to 40, she whispers. Right to 15. Left to 55. The room is silent. Everyone holds their breath. Click. The lock opens. Mrs. Green holds the handle of the large steel safe. She takes a deep breath. She pulls the heavy metal door. The hinges are old, but they work. The thick steel door swings open. A smell comes from inside the safe. It smells of old paper and dust. It smells like secrets. Move back, Jack says to the others. I want to see. Jack shines his flashlight into the open safe. It is a small metal room inside the wall. Wow, Tom whispers. His eyes are wide. He licks his lips. Inside the safe, there are stacks of money. There are bundles of £50 notes. They are tied with rubber bands. There must be thousands of pounds there. That is a lot of cash, Bill the gardener says. I have never seen so much money. Tom stares at the money. He looks hungry. Jack watches Tom. He sees the greed in the young man's eyes. Tom needs £10,000. Here is the money, right in front of him. Do not touch the money, Jack warns Tom. I wasn't going to touch it, Tom stammers. He steps back, but his eyes stay on the cash. Jack looks past the money. At the back of the safe, behind the stacks of cash and some legal papers, there is a small object. It is a red leather box. It is shaped like a small chest. It has gold letters on the top, the green jewel. Is that it? Jack asks. Yes, Mrs. Green says nervously. The blue diamond is inside that red box. It is the safest place in the world. She reaches into the safe. Her hand shakes. She picks up the red box. It looks heavy. She pulls it out and holds it close to her chest. Thank goodness, Mrs. Potts says. It is safe. Open it, Jack says. Mrs. Green tries to lift the lid. It does not open. It is locked, she says. Of course. It has a second lock. My husband was very careful. He did not trust just one safe. He put a lock inside a lock. Jack looks at the red box. On the front, there is a small row of numbers. It is another combination lock. A mini code. Do you know this code too? Jack asks. Mrs. Green frowns. She looks at the numbers. I think so. It has been a long time. I never take the real diamond out. The last time I opened this box was 3 years ago. Think carefully, Jack says. We need to be sure. Mrs. Green closes her eyes. My husband used numbers from his ship. The year he became a captain. Or maybe the number of his boat. She puts her finger on the small dials. 1, 9, 7, she mutters. She tries to turn the numbers. Her fingers are slippery with sweat. I can do it, Tom offers. He steps forward again. I know Uncle's ship numbers. Let me open it. Jack puts his hand on Tom's chest. No, Tom. Mrs. Green will do it. Back away. Mrs. Green takes a deep breath. Okay. I remember now. It is the date of our wedding. Mrs. Green holds the small red box in her trembling hands. The room is very quiet, except for the sound of the rain hitting the windows. Everyone is watching her fingers. 15. She whispers. She turns the first small wheel on the lock. Click. Click. 0. She turns the second wheel. 8. She turns the third wheel. She pulls on the lid. It does not move. The box is still locked. It didn't work, Mrs. Green says. Her voice is full of panic. Why didn't it work? That is our wedding anniversary. 15th of August. Try again, Tom says impatiently. He is bouncing on his heels. Maybe you made a mistake. Your hands are shaking too much. I am trying, Tom. Mrs. Green snaps. She is stressed. She wipes her sweaty hands on her dress. She tries to turn the wheels again, but her fingers slip. Let me do it, Tom says. He reaches out his hand to grab the box. I have steady hands. Jack steps between them. He puts his hand on Tom's shoulder. Stay back, Tom. Do not touch the box. Jack turns to Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green, please give me the box. Tell me the numbers. I will open it for you. Mrs. Green nods. She looks relieved. She hands the red leather box to Jack. Jack holds it. It feels heavy. This is a good sign. If the box was empty, it would be light. But there is something heavy inside. He shakes it very gently. Something solid moves inside the box. Do you hear that? Jack asks. Something is inside. It is the diamond. Mrs. Green cries. It is heavy gold and a big stone. It makes a sound like that. Jack looks at the lock. It is a 3-digit code. Mrs. Green, Jack asks, are you sure about the date? Maybe your husband used a different number. You said he liked secrets. Mrs. Green thinks. She closes her eyes. He was a sailor. Maybe it is the name of his first ship. The Lady May. That is a name, not a number, Jack says. No, she says. He always used numbers for letters. A is 1, B is 2 inch. Jack thinks fast. Lady. That is too complicated for a 3-digit lock. Wait, Mrs. Green says. Her eyes open wide. The painting. The ship in the painting. She points to the painting of the ship on the wall. Jack looks at the painting. On the front of the ship, there are small white numbers painted on the side of the boat. Jack shines his flashlight on the canvas. The numbers are small, but clear. 7, 4, 2. Try 7, 4, 2, Mrs. Green whispers. Jack looks at the lock. He turns the first wheel to 7. Click. He turns the second wheel to 2, no, 4. Click. He turns the last wheel to 2. Suddenly, there is a louder sound. Snap. The latch on the red box pops open. You did it. Bill the gardener cheers. It is open. Jack holds the box firmly with both hands. He looks at Mrs. Green. Are you ready? Yes, she says. She holds her breath. Show me my diamond. Jack slowly lifts the leather lid. The hinges creak softly. The inside of the box is revealed to the candlelight. Jack looks inside. His face freezes. He does not speak. What is it? Tom asks, stepping forward. Is it beautiful? Jack tilts the box so everyone can see. Jack tilts the box so the candlelight shines inside. Mrs. Green looks. Tom looks. Bill and Sarah look. Inside the red velvet box, there is no shining blue stone. There is no gold. There is only a dirty, grey, round object. A rock. Tom shouts. It is just a rock. Mrs. Green puts her hand to her throat. She cannot breathe. She makes a small sound like a mouse. Eep. Then, her knees bend. She starts to fall. Catch her. Jack yells. Bill the gardener is fast. He catches Mrs. Green before she hits the floor. He helps her sit on the sofa. Mrs. Potts runs to get a glass of water. My diamond. Mrs. Green whispers. It is gone. My beautiful diamond. Jack picks up the grey object from the box. It is heavy and cold. It feels like metal, not stone. It is not a rock, Jack says. It is a piece of lead. It is a weight. A fishing weight, Bill says, looking at it. For deep sea fishing. To hold the line down in the water. Yes, Jack says. That is why the box felt heavy. The thief took the diamond and put this weight inside. He wanted the box to feel full. He wanted Mrs. Green to think the diamond was safe. How long? Tom asks. He is pacing around the room. He looks very angry. When did this happen? Mrs. Green, Jack asks gently. You said you opened this box 3 years ago. Did you open it after that? Mrs. Green shakes her head weakly. No. I trusted the safe. I trusted the lock. Then the diamond was stolen anytime in the last 3 years, Jack says. Maybe 2 years ago. Maybe last week. Maybe tonight. But the window. Sarah says. The thief broke the window tonight. He stole the glass copy tonight. Jack nods. This is the puzzle. Why steal the glass copy if you already stole the real diamond? Jack thinks. He rubs his chin. Maybe there are 2 thieves, Jack says. Thief number 1 stole the real diamond a long time ago. Thief number 2 came tonight, broke the window, and stole the glass copy. 2 thieves. Mrs. Potts says. In one house? That is terrible. Or, Jack says, maybe it is the same thief. Maybe he stole the real diamond long ago. But tonight, he heard about the party. He knew you were going to wear the diamond. He was afraid you would open the safe and find the rock. So he broke in tonight to steal the fake one, to make a scene. He wanted you to think the diamond was stolen tonight. That is smart, Tom says. Very smart. Jack looks at the fishing weight again. This weight is old. It has scratches. Suddenly, a loud noise comes from the hallway. It is a dog barking. A very loud, angry bark. That is Buster. Mrs. Green says. The family dog. He was sleeping in my bedroom. Why is he barking now? Jack asks. The sound comes from the door. The dog is scratching the wood. He wants to get out. Or he wants to tell them something. Let the dog in, Jack says. Animals know things. Animals have noses that see better than our eyes. Mr. Black opens the drawing room door. A small terrier dog runs into the room. He is white with black spots. He is very excited. He runs straight to Jack. He sniffs Jack's shoes. Then he runs to the fireplace. He barks at the painting. Then he runs to the window and barks at the night. He has a scent, Jack says. He smells the thief. Buster the dog is running in circles. He is small, but he has a lot of energy. He barks at the heavy lead weight in Jack's hand. He is interested in this weight, Jack observes. He crouches down. He holds the grey fishing weight near Buster's nose. Buster stops moving. He stretches his neck. He sniffs the weight carefully. Suddenly, the dog sneezes. Then he starts to bark louder. He runs to the door of the drawing room. He scratches the wood with his paws. He looks at Jack, then at the door. He knows the smell, Jack says, standing up. The person who held this weight. Buster knows him. And Buster knows where he went. Where does he want to go? Mrs. Green asks. She looks worried. It is pouring rain outside. He wants to go out, Jack says. The scent is fresh. The rain will wash the smell away soon. We must go now. Bill the gardener steps forward. I have a leash in the kitchen, he says. Buster is fast. We don't want to lose him in the dark. Get the leash, Jack orders. And everyone, get your coats. We are going on a hunt. 5 minutes later, they are at the back door again. Bill clips the leather leash onto Buster's collar. The dog is pulling hard. He is very strong for a small dog. Ready? Bill asks. He holds the leash tight. Open the door, Jack says. Bill opens the door. Buster shoots out like a rocket. He pulls Bill into the wet night. Jack follows with his flashlight. Tom and Mr. Black follow. Mrs. Green stays at the door with Mrs. Potts. She is too tired to run in the mud again. Buster puts his nose to the ground. He runs in a zigzag line. Left, right, left. He ignores the rain. He is on a mission. He runs past the kitchen window. He runs past the spot where Sarah saw the thief. He runs towards the garden shed. Is he going to the shed? Tom shouts over the wind. No. Jack shouts back, look. Buster runs past the shed. He runs to the very back of the garden. There is a large, old oak tree near the back wall. The roots of the tree are big and twisted. Buster stops at the tree. He starts to dig. Dirt flies into the air. Mud goes everywhere. Buster is growling. Grr! He bites at the roots. He digs deeper and deeper with his front paws. What is he doing? Mr. Black asks. Is he burying a bone? No, Jack says. He shines the light on the dog. He is not burying something. He is finding something. Jack runs to the tree. Bill, pull him back. He might damage the evidence. Bill pulls the leash. Come here, Buster. Good boy. Buster stops digging, but he keeps barking. He looks at the hole in the mud. Jack kneels down beside the tree. The hole is about 20 centimeters deep. At the bottom of the muddy hole, Jack sees something white. It is not a bone. It is not a stone. It looks like fabric. Hold the light, Tom, Jack says. Jack reaches into the wet hole. He pulls on the white fabric. It is stuck in the dirt. He pulls harder. The object comes out of the mud. Jack holds it up in the rain. Jack stands up in the rain. He holds the wet, muddy object in his hand. The others gather around him. Tom shines the flashlight on Jack's hand. It is a glove, Jack says. It is a white cotton glove. It is now brown with mud, but originally it was white. It looks exactly like the gloves Mr. Black wears every day. Mr. Black! Tom shouts. He points a finger at the butler. It is your glove. You buried it here. Mr. Black looks at the glove. He shakes his head quickly. No. I have many pairs of gloves. But I did not bury one in the garden. Jack looks at the glove closely. He brings it near his nose. He smells it. It smells of earth, Jack says. And oil. Motor oil. Motor oil. Bill asks. Butlers don't use motor oil. Drivers use motor oil. Jack looks at the glove again. On the fingers of the glove, there are black stains. It is grease from a car or a machine. Arthur the driver. Tom suggests. Does he wear white gloves? Sometimes, Mr. Black says. When he drives the Rolls-Royce for special events, he wears white gloves. Buster the dog is still barking at the hole. Woof, woof. He scratches the mud with his paws. He is not finished. He wants something else, Jack says. The glove was just on top. It was covering something. Jack gives the muddy glove to Bill. Hold this. Jack kneels down in the mud again. He does not care about his clean trousers. He puts his hand deep into the cold, wet hole. He digs with his fingers. The ground is soft because of the rain. Jack feels roots from the tree. Then, his fingers touch something else. It is not wood. It is not stone. It feels like leather. It is smooth and soft. I found it, Jack whispers. He pulls hard. The object is stuck under a big root. Jack twists it. Squelch. The mud releases the object. Jack pulls out a small, dark bag. It is a leather pouch with a drawstring. It looks like a bag for coins or jewels. "Is that it?" Tom asks. His voice is full of excitement. "Is the real diamond inside?" Jack stands up. He wipes the mud from the bag. The bag is heavy. Not as heavy as the lead weight, but it has a solid weight. "This is not a fishing weight," Jack says. "This feels different." The rain washes the mud off the leather. The bag is old and worn. "Let's go inside," Jack says. "We cannot open this in the rain. We might lose what is inside." "But I want to see now," Tom complains. "Patience, Tom," Jack says. "The wind is too strong. If there are small diamonds or clues inside, the wind will blow them away. To the shed. It is closest." They run to the garden shed again. It is only 20 meters away. They rush inside and close the door against the storm. Jack puts the small leather bag on the workbench, next to the lantern. "Now," Jack says, "let's see what the dog found." Jack stands by the dirty workbench in the shed. The lantern swings above his head. The light moves left and right. The shadows dance on the walls. Tom, Bill, and Mr. Black stand very close to Jack. They are all wet and muddy, but they do not care. They only look at the small leather bag. "Open it," Tom says. His voice is tight. "I can't wait." Jack loosens the string on the bag. The leather is stiff from the cold mud. He pulls the bag open. He turns the bag upside down. He shakes it gently. Something falls out onto the wooden table. Clatter. It is a blue stone. It is large. It is oval-shaped. Even in the dim yellow light of the lantern, it shines with a deep, blue fire. It looks like a piece of the ocean. "Is it?" Mr. Black whispers. "Is it the real one?" Jack picks it up. He holds it to the light. He takes out his magnifying glass again. He looks deep into the stone. "No bubbles," Jack says. "It is perfectly clear." He takes the metal file from the table. He tries to scratch the stone. He looks at the stone. There is no mark. The stone is harder than the metal. "It is real," Jack says. He smiles for the first time tonight. "This is the green jewel. This is the blue diamond. We found it." Bill shouts. He claps Mr. Black on the back. "The dog found it." Tom reaches out his hand. "Let me hold it. I want to feel £1,000,000. Jack pulls the diamond away. "No touching. This is evidence. The thief held this diamond. His fingerprints might be on it." Jack puts the diamond carefully into a clean plastic bag from his pocket. "So the thief stole the diamond from the safe," Jack says. "He replaced it with a lead weight. Then he buried the real diamond here, under the tree." "Why bury it?" Tom asks. "Why not take it and run?" "Because he lives here," Jack says. He looks at the three men. He couldn't leave the house. He knew the police would search his room. He knew they would search his bags. So he hid it in the garden. He planned to come back later, maybe in a month, to dig it up. "Smart," Mr. Black says. "Very wicked, but smart." Jack looks at the leather bag on the table. It is empty now. But wait. Jack feels the bottom of the bag. There is something else stuck in the corner. "There is one more thing," Jack says. He puts his fingers into the bag again. He pulls out a small, crumpled piece of paper. It is wet and stained with oil. Jack unfolds the paper carefully. It is a receipt. A receipt from a shop. Jack holds the wet receipt near the lantern light. The paper is old and thin. The ink is fading because of the rain, but Jack can still read the letters. What does it say? Tom asks eagerly. It is a receipt from the village store, Jack reads. It is dated 2 days ago. Jack points to the list of items on the paper. 1 pack of Red Dragon cigarettes. 1 bag of strong peppermints. 1 newspaper. Cigarettes and peppermints, Jack says softly. Mrs. Green smelled smoke in the drawing room. She also smelled peppermint on the thief. We thought these were 2 different people. We thought Tom smoked and Mr. Black ate peppermints. But this receipt shows one person bought both, Bill says. One person who smokes and likes mints. Jack looks at the glove on the table again. The white glove with the black stains. And this person has dirty hands, Jack says. Look at the paper. There is a black smudge on the corner. It is oil. Motor oil. Jack picks up the white glove. This glove was buried with the diamond. It has motor oil on the fingers. The receipt has motor oil on it. The bag has a smell of oil. Who uses motor oil? Tom asks. Arthur the driver. Bill shouts. He is always covered in oil. But Arthur does not smoke, Mr. Black says. I have never seen him smoke. Maybe he smokes in secret, Jack suggests. Or maybe the thief is not Arthur. Jack closes his eyes. He builds the picture in his mind. He thinks about all the clues. The boots, size 45. Heavy tread. The climbing, needs a strong, athletic person. The knots, sailor knots. The tools, used the shovel, knife, and pliers. The smells, smoke and peppermint. The oil, on the glove and receipt. Jack opens his eyes. He looks at the diamond in the plastic bag. He looks at the receipt. He looks at the glove. Suddenly, everything fits. The puzzle pieces come together. I know, Jack whispers. You know what? Bill asks. I know who did it, Jack says. His voice is strong and confident. I know who stole the real diamond 2 years ago. And I know who broke the window tonight to steal the fake one. Is it the same person? Tom asks. Yes, Jack says. It is one man. A very clever, very greedy man. He planned this for a long time. But he made one mistake. What mistake? Mr. Black asks. He kept the receipt, Jack says. He didn't throw it away. And that little piece of paper tells me his name. Jack turns off the lantern. Come, he orders. We are going back to the house. Gather everyone in the drawing room. The cook, the driver, the maid, everyone. Tonight, the mystery ends. Jack opens the shed door. The storm is finally stopping. The rain is soft now. The thunder is gone. The night is quiet. Jack walks back to the mansion with the diamond in his pocket and the answer in his head. Jack walks into the drawing room. He looks like a king returning from a battle. He is wet and muddy, but he stands tall. Sit down, everyone, Jack commands. Mrs. Green is already on the sofa. Tom sits in an armchair. Bill and Mr. Black stand near the fireplace. Where are the others? Jack asks. I need everyone here. I will get them, Mr. Black says. He hurries out of the room. 5 minutes later, the room is full. Mrs. Potts the cook stands near the door. She is twisting her apron. Sarah the maid stands next to her. She looks frightened. Arthur the driver walks in last. He looks tired. He is still wearing his grey uniform. He looks at the mud on Jack's shoes and frowns. "Why are we here?" Arthur asks. "It is late. I want to sleep." "Nobody sleeps until I finish," Jack says. He walks to the center of the room. He places the evidence on the small table. The empty black box. The piece of blue glass. The heavy lead weight. The dirty white glove. The crumpled receipt. Everyone looks at the objects. They look like a strange collection of trash. "Tonight," Jack begins, "we saw a crime. Someone broke the window. Someone stole a piece of glass." "Glass?" Arthur asks. "I thought it was a diamond." "It was a decoy," Jack says. "A fake. The real diamond was stolen a long time ago. It was replaced with this lead weight." Arthur looks at the weight. His eyes flicker. He looks nervous. "But tonight," Jack continues, "we found the real diamond. It was buried in the garden." A gasp goes through the room. "You found it?" Mrs. Potts cries. "Where?" "Under the old oak tree," Jack says. "The thief hid it there." Jack looks at the faces of the suspects. Mrs. Green looks relieved. Tom looks hungry for the money. Bill looks proud. Arthur looks sweaty. "The person who did this is in this room," Jack says. "He is a man who wears size 45 boots. He is a man who is strong enough to climb a wall. He is a man who knows about tools, oil, and knots." Jack picks up the white glove. "Arthur," Jack says softly, "this looks like your glove." Arthur steps back. "No, that is not mine. Many people wear gloves." "It has motor oil on it," Jack says. "And it was buried with the diamond. You are the driver. You work with oil." Arthur laughs nervously. "You are guessing, detective. You have no proof. Just a dirty glove? That is nothing." "I have more than a glove," Jack says. He holds up the receipt. "I have a shopping list. It tells me exactly who the thief is." The room is silent. The clock on the wall ticks loudly. "Who?" Mrs. Green whispers. "Who is it, Mr. Jack?" Jack looks at Arthur. Then he looks at Tom. Then he looks at Bill. "The thief," Jack announces, "is the person who needed two things, a smoke to calm his nerves, and a peppermint to hide the smell." Jack holds the crumpled receipt in the air. "This piece of paper is the most important clue," he says. "It lists three things," Jack continues. "Cigarettes, peppermints, and a newspaper. The receipt also has oil stains on it. Who in this room works with oil every day?" Everyone looks at Arthur. Arthur crosses his arms. "I am a driver. My hands are often dirty. Maybe I dropped that receipt weeks ago. That does not mean I am a thief." "True," Jack says. "But let's look at the items." Jack looks at Tom. "Tom, you smoke. I saw you smoking in the library. What brand of cigarettes do you smoke?" Tom reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a shiny gold box. "I smoke Royal Gold," he says. "They are imported from Turkey. Very expensive." Jack nods. "Exactly. A rich young man smokes expensive cigarettes." Jack looks at the receipt again. But the receipt is for Red Dragon cigarettes. They are cheap. They are strong. They are sold in the village store. And, Jack adds, The ash I found on the carpet in the drawing room was dark and flaky. It is the ash of cheap tobacco. Jack turns to Arthur. Arthur, do you smoke? No, Arthur says quickly. I told you, I don't smoke. Then empty your pockets, Jack orders. Arthur freezes. I don't have to. If you are innocent, show us your pockets, Mrs. Green says sternly. Arthur looks at the door. He looks at Bill, who is standing close to him. Bill is big and strong. Arthur knows he cannot run. Slowly, Arthur reaches into the pocket of his grey jacket. He pulls out a set of keys. He pulls out a wallet. And then, he pulls out a crumpled red packet. It is a pack of Red Dragon cigarettes. Aha! Bill shouts. You lied. I only smoke sometimes. Arthur stammers. When I am stressed. And the peppermints? Jack asks. The thief smelled of peppermint. The receipt lists peppermints. Did you buy them to hide the smell of the smoke? Arthur pulls a small bag of mints from his other pocket. I like mints. Mr. Black likes mints too. But Mr. Black does not have oil on his hands, Jack says. And Mr. Black does not wear size 45 boots. And Mr. Black was tied up in the basement. Jack walks closer to Arthur. You have the boots. You have the oil. You have the cigarettes. You have the mints. And the missing knife was in your car. The knife was planted. Arthur yells. Someone put it there. No, Jack says. You used the knife to cut the window glass. You used the pliers to break the lock. You came in, you took the glass diamond, and you ran to the shed. You were angry because it was glass. You broke it. Then you hid the real diamond, which you stole 2 years ago, under the tree. 2 years ago? Mrs. Green asks. Arthur has worked here for 4 years. Yes, Jack says. He had plenty of time to learn the secrets of the house. He knew about the safe. He knew about the painting. But the safe code. Tom interrupts. Only Aunt Mary knew the code. How did Arthur open the safe? Jack looks at the painting of the ship. The code was 742. The numbers are painted on the ship. Anyone who cleans this room, anyone who looks closely at the painting, can see the numbers. Arthur cleans the windows, Mrs. Green whispers. He is often in this room on a ladder. Jack nods. He saw the numbers. He guessed the code. He opened the safe, took the real diamond, and replaced it with a fishing weight. He is a fisherman, isn't he? Bill nods. Yes. Arthur goes fishing every Sunday. Arthur is shaking now. His face is pale. He looks like a trapped animal. It's not true. Arthur screams. You are twisting everything. What about the knots? The sailor knots in the basement? I am not a sailor. Tom is the sailor. Jack pauses. That is the one thing, Jack admits. The knots. He looks at Tom. Then he looks at Arthur. Unless. Jack says slowly, Arthur had a teacher. I am a driver, not a sailor. Arthur shouts. He points a shaking finger at Tom. Tom was in the Navy. Tom knows how to tie those knots. Ask him. Jack turns to Tom. Is that true, Tom? Can you tie a figure 8 knot? Tom nods. Yes. My uncle taught me. Every sailor knows it. See. Arthur cries. It was him. He attacked the butler. Jack looks at Tom. Tom looks nervous, but he does not look guilty. He looks like a man who is afraid of his own shadow. Tom, Jack asks, where were you when the lights went out? Where were you when Mr. Black was attacked? I was in the library, Tom says. I told you. Can anyone prove it? Jack asks. If you were alone, you have no alibi. Tom looks around the room. He looks at the cook, Mrs. Potts. Mrs. Potts, you saw me. Mrs. Potts steps forward. She wipes her hands on her apron. Yes, she says quietly. I saw him. Tell us, Jack says. When the lights went out, Mrs. Potts explains, I was terrified. I ran from the kitchen to the hallway. I had my candle. I saw Mr. Tom. He was running too. Was he running towards the basement? Jack asks. Towards Mr. Black? No, Mrs. Potts shakes her head. He was running away. He ran into the library and slammed the door. He locked it. I heard him crying inside. He was shouting, "Don't hurt me! Don't hurt me!" There is a small silence in the room. Tom's face turns red. He is embarrassed. I thought the sharks were coming to get me, Tom whispers. I am sorry. I am a coward. Jack nods. A coward does not attack a tall man like Mr. Black. A coward does not tie someone up in a dark basement. A coward hides. Jack turns back to Arthur. So, Tom was hiding in the library. He did not attack Mr. Black. That leaves you, Arthur. Arthur wipes sweat from his forehead. But I don't know knots. Bill, Jack asks the gardener. You said Arthur goes fishing every Sunday. What kind of fishing? Deep sea fishing, Bill answers. On a boat. With big nets and lines. Jack smiles. Arthur, you are a fisherman. Fishermen work with ropes every day. Fishermen must tie strong knots to hold the boat and the nets. A fisherman knows a figure eight not just as well as a sailor. Arthur steps back. He hits the wall. There is nowhere to go. You have the skill, Jack says. You have the tools. You have the motive. You wanted the money from the diamond. And the alibi? Jack asks. Where were you when the lights went out, Arthur? I was in the garage. Arthur insists. I was checking the tires. No, Jack says. The garage is far away. But we heard a scream inside the house. Someone was in the hallway. Someone who smells of peppermint and oil. Arthur looks at the door. He looks at the window. He is breathing very fast. I didn't mean to hurt anyone, Arthur whispers. Is that a confession? Jack asks. Arthur looks at Bill. It was him. Arthur shouts. Bill has the same boots. Bill has the shed. Bill has the rope. Bill the gardener looks surprised. He steps back. Me? No. I am an old man. Jack holds up his hand. Stop, Arthur. We know it is not Bill. How do you know? Arthur asks desperately. He was outside too. Jack turns to Bill. Bill, I need you to be honest. Earlier, you told me you were checking the greenhouse at 8 p.m. But you looked very tired. And I saw a pillow in your shed. Bill's face turns red. He looks at Mrs. Green. He takes off his cap. I am sorry, Mrs. Green, Bill says. He looks at his dirty boots. I told a small lie. I was not working in the greenhouse at 8 p.m. Where were you? Jack asks. I was sleeping, Bill admits. The rain makes me sleepy. I went to the shed. I sat in the corner on the old sacks. I fell asleep. So you were asleep during the robbery? Arthur says. Ha! So you have no alibi. Wait, Bill says. He lifts his head. I was sleeping, but the noise woke me up. I heard the shed door open. Who opened it? Jack asks. I kept my eyes closed, Bill says. I thought it was Mrs. Green checking on me. I didn't want to get in trouble for sleeping. But I heard breathing. Fast, heavy breathing. Like a man who ran a race. And then I heard a sound, Bill says. The sound of glass breaking. Jack nods. That was the thief breaking the fake diamond. Then I heard digging, Bill continues. Someone took my shovel. They went outside. 5 minutes later, they came back. They put the shovel back. And then Bill points a thick finger at Arthur. Then I opened my eyes just a little bit. The person lit a cigarette. The lighter flashed. Did you see his face? Jack asks. Yes, Bill says firmly. For 1 second, in the light of the flame, I saw his face. It was Arthur. He was smoking a red dragon cigarette. He looked wild. He looked crazy. Why didn't you tell me this before? Jack asks. I was scared, Bill says. Arthur is young and strong. I am old. And I didn't want Mrs. Green to know I was sleeping on the job. You are a good man, Bill, Mrs. Green says kindly. I forgive you for sleeping. Jack turns back to Arthur. The evidence is a mountain now. The boots match. The knife was in his car. The glove was in the hole. The receipt proves he bought the mints and cigarettes. The witness saw him in the shed. It is over, Arthur, Jack says. Bill saw you. We found the diamond. We have your glove. There are no more lies. Arthur looks at the faces in the room. They are all looking at him with anger. He is alone. I just wanted the money, Arthur whispers. His voice is shaking. Mrs. Green has so much money. She doesn't even look at the safe. I needed it more than her. So you admit it? Jack asks. Arthur's face changes. The fear turns into anger. His eyes become hard. Yes, Arthur snarls. I took it. And I would have got away with it if you didn't come here. Suddenly, Arthur reaches into his jacket. He pulls out something shiny. It is a wrench. A heavy metal tool from the garage. Get back! Arthur shouts. He waves the heavy tool in the air. I am leaving. Nobody stop me. The drawing room is full of fear. Arthur stands near the fireplace. He holds the heavy silver wrench in his hand. He swings it back and forth. Stay back! Arthur shouts. His eyes are wide and crazy. I will hit anyone who comes close. Mrs. Potts screams and hides behind the sofa. Mrs. Green sits frozen in her chair. Her face is white. Sarah the maid is crying in the corner. Arthur, put the tool down, Jack says calmly. He holds his hands up. He wants to show Arthur he is not fighting. This is a mistake. You are making it worse. It is too late. Arthur yells. You know everything. You know about the diamond. You know about the safe. I cannot stay here. I am going to prison. You don't have to hurt anyone, Jack says. Just give me the wrench. No. Arthur screams. He takes a step forward. He looks at Bill the gardener. Bill is the biggest man in the room. Bill is the only threat. Get out of my way, old man, Arthur growls at Bill. Bill stands his ground. He holds his fists up. "You are a fool, Arthur. Put it down." Arthur lunges. He swings the heavy metal tool at Bill's head. Bill is old, but he is quick. He ducks down. The wrench hits the wall. Plaster dust falls on the floor. "Stop him!" Tom shouts. He is hiding behind a chair. He is crazy. Arthur turns to the door. The path is clear, but Jack is standing near the door. Arthur looks at Jack. "Move, detective." "I cannot let you go," Jack says firmly. Arthur reaches into his pocket with his other hand. He pulls out the cigarette lighter. He flicks it on. The flame dances. "Move, or I will burn the house down." Arthur threatens. He holds the flame near the long, heavy curtains. These curtains are dry. They will burn fast. Mrs. Green gasps. "No! My house!" Jack looks at the flame. He looks at the fear in Mrs. Green's eyes. He knows he has to choose. Catch the thief, or save the house. "Okay, Arthur," Jack says slowly. He steps to the side. "Go. Leave the house." "Don't let him go." Tom yells. "He is a criminal." "Quiet, Tom," Jack orders. Arthur smiles a nasty smile. "Smart choice, detective." He backs out of the room. He keeps the wrench raised. He keeps his eyes on Jack. He steps into the hallway. As soon as he is in the hall, he turns and runs. His heavy boots pound on the wooden floor. He is running towards the front door. He is escaping. Bill shouts. Jack runs to the door. "He is not escaping," Jack says. "The front door is locked. Mr. Black locked it hours ago." They hear a loud noise in the hall. Arthur is pulling the handle. "Open! Open!" Arthur screams. "He is trapped," Jack says. "Come on, Bill. Let's get him." Jack and Bill run into the hallway. But Arthur is desperate. He sees he cannot open the heavy front door. He looks around. He sees the large window next to the door. He raises the wrench high above his head. The glass shatters. Rain and wind blow into the hallway. Arthur climbs onto the window ledge. He looks back at Jack one last time. "You will never catch me," Arthur shouts. He jumps out into the dark, stormy night. Arthur disappears into the dark night. The broken glass lies on the floor of the hallway. The wind blows rain into the house. "Come on," Jack shouts. "We cannot lose him now." Jack climbs through the broken window. He is careful not to cut his hands. He jumps down onto the wet driveway. Bill follows him. He is a big man, but he moves fast. He jumps out and lands next to Jack. "I see him," Bill yells. He points a finger into the darkness. Far away, near the big iron gate, a shadow is moving. It is Arthur. He is running towards the exit. He is going to the gate. Jack says, "Run." Jack and Bill run through the rain. Their feet slip in the mud. The cold air hurts their lungs. They run past the beautiful fountain. They run past the parked cars. Arthur reaches the main gate. He grabs the metal bars. He shakes them violently. "Open!" Arthur screams at the gate, but the gate is locked. Mr. Black did his job well. There is no way out. Arthur turns around. He sees Jack and Bill running towards him. He sees the light of Jack's flashlight bouncing up and down. "You have nowhere to go, Arthur." Jack shouts, "Give up." Arthur looks panicked. He looks left. He looks right. To the left is the high stone wall. To the right is the dark forest. Arthur chooses the forest. He runs away from the gate. He jumps over a flower bed. He runs towards the tall, dark trees at the edge of the garden. He is heading for the woods. Bill says, "If he gets into the trees, we will never find him. It is too dark." "We have to cut him off," Jack says. "Bill, you go left. I will go right. We will trap him." Bill nods. He runs to the left, towards the greenhouse. Jack runs to the right, towards the garage. They run in a big circle to catch Arthur in the middle. Arthur is running hard. His breathing is loud and ragged. His heavy boots are heavy with mud. He is tired. Jack runs past the garage. He jumps over a fallen branch. He is getting closer. He can hear Arthur's footsteps splashing in the puddles. Arthur reaches the edge of the woods. The trees are thick here. The branches are like a wall. Arthur tries to push through the bushes. The thorns tear his clothes. Ouch! Arthur cries. He stumbles. He falls onto his hands and knees in the mud. Jack stops running. He shines his flashlight on the fallen man. "It is over, Arthur," Jack says. He breathes heavily. "Do not move." Arthur looks up. His face is covered in dirt. He looks like a wild animal. He stands up slowly. He holds a large stone in his hand. "Stay back," Arthur warns. "I am not going to prison." Arthur throws the stone at Jack. Jack ducks. The stone flies over his head. Arthur turns and runs into the trees. He disappears into the black forest. "He is crazy," Bill shouts, arriving at the spot. "He went into the woods." "Be careful," Jack says. "The woods are dangerous in a storm. There are old traps. There are holes." They step into the forest. The trees block the rain, but it is very dark. They listen. They hear branches breaking. Arthur is ahead of them, but he is running blindly, and he does not know that the woods end at a steep cliff. Jack and Bill run through the trees. The ground is very uneven. There are big roots and slippery rocks. Jack shines his flashlight ahead. The beam of light cuts through the darkness. "Arthur!" Jack shouts. "Stop! There is a cliff ahead." But Arthur does not listen. He is too scared. He thinks only of escaping. He crashes through the bushes. He runs faster and faster. "He doesn't know about the quarry," Bill says, breathing hard. "The old quarry is at the end of the woods. It is a big hole in the ground. If he falls, he will die." "We have to save him," Jack says. They run faster. The rain hits the leaves above them. Suddenly, they hear a scream. Then, silence. Jack and Bill stop running. They stand still in the dark forest. "Did he fall?" Bill whispers. "I don't know," Jack says. "Let's look." They walk slowly forward. Jack points his flashlight at the ground. They see Arthur's footprints in the mud. They follow the tracks. The trees stop suddenly. In front of them, there is a large open space. It is the edge of the cliff. Below, in the dark, is the old quarry. It is deep and full of sharp rocks. Jack moves the light to the edge. There, standing on a small ledge of rock, is Arthur. He is shaking. He is holding onto a small tree branch with one hand. His feet are slipping on the wet stone. He is not at the bottom, but he is trapped on the edge. One wrong step, and he falls. "Help me!" Arthur cries. His voice is small and weak. "I am slipping." "Don't move, Arthur," Jack shouts. "Stay very still." Arthur looks back at them. His face is white with terror. He is crying. "I don't want to die. Please, pull me up." "Bill," Jack says quietly, "you are strong. Can you reach him?" Bill nods. He takes off his heavy coat. He lies down on the muddy ground. He reaches his hand out over the edge. "Grab my hand, boy," Bill says. His voice is calm. Arthur looks at Bill's hand. It is far away. "I can't reach." Arthur cries. "If I let go of the branch, I will fall." "You have to trust me," Bill says. "On the count of 3, let go and jump for my hand." Arthur shakes his head. "No, no, no." "Do it," Jack orders. "The branch is breaking." Jack shines the light on the small tree branch. It is cracking. Crack. It is too weak to hold Arthur's weight. 1, Bill counts. 2, Bill says. 3. Jump. Arthur screams and lets go of the branch. He jumps up. He reaches for Bill's hand. Bill's big hand catches Arthur's wrist. Arthur dangles over the dark hole. Bill grunts. "Got you." Bill pulls hard. His muscles are big and strong. He drags Arthur up over the edge of the cliff. Arthur slides through the mud and lands on the safe grass. He lies there, gasping for air. He is covered in mud. He is shaking violently. He is alive, but he is defeated. Jack stands over him. He puts handcuffs on Arthur's wrists. "Now," Jack says, "we are going back to the house. And you are going to tell us everything." Jack and Bill bring Arthur back to the house. They walk into the drawing room. Arthur is wet, muddy, and handcuffed. He sits on a wooden chair in the middle of the room. He looks at the floor. Mrs. Green, Tom, and the servants are waiting. They look at Arthur with shock. "He is the thief," Jack announces. "And he is ready to tell us why." Arthur sighs. He looks very small and tired. The fight is gone from his eyes. "Why, Arthur?" Mrs. Green asks sadly. "You had a good job here. You had a home. Why did you steal from me?" Arthur looks up. His eyes are full of tears. "I didn't want to hurt you, Mrs. Green. But I wanted more." "More money?" Tom asks. "Yes," Arthur says. "I drive your expensive car. I see your expensive clothes. I see your parties. But I have nothing. I send all my money to my sick mother. I wanted to be rich, just for one day." "Tell us about the diamond," Jack says. "When did you take it?" 2 years ago, Arthur confesses. "I was cleaning the windows in this room. I looked at the painting of the ship. I saw the numbers, 742. I thought, maybe that is a code." "So you tried it?" Jack asks. "Yes," Arthur says. "One day, when the house was empty, I tried the code on the safe. It opened. I saw the red box. I saw the blue diamond. It was so beautiful. I took it." "And the lead weight?" Bill asks. "I found it in my fishing box," Arthur explains. "I put it in the red box so it felt heavy. I thought, Mrs. Green never opens this safe. She will never know." "But tonight changed everything," Jack says. "Yes," Arthur nods. "Tonight was your birthday, Mrs. Green. I heard you talking to Mrs. Potts. You said, 'I will wear the real diamond tonight.' I was terrified. If you opened the safe, you would find the lead weight. You would call the police. You would find my fingerprints. So you created a distraction, Jack says. I had to, Arthur says. I planned a fake robbery. I wanted to break the window and steal the fake glass diamond from the table. Then, everyone would think the thief came tonight. Everyone would think the thief took the diamond tonight. No one would look in the safe. No one would know about the crime from 2 years ago. But you made mistakes, Jack says. I was nervous, Arthur admits. I smoked a cigarette to calm down. I ate peppermints to hide the smell. I wore my gloves, but I got oil on the receipt. I was messy. And the knots? Tom asks. How do you know the figure? 8 knot. Only sailors know that. Arthur looks at Tom. I watched you, he says. Last summer, in the garden. You were teaching your little cousin how to tie knots. I watched you from the garage. I practiced with my fishing rope. It is a good knot. Mrs. Green stands up. She walks to Arthur. She does not look angry. She looks disappointed. You were clever, Arthur, she says. But you were greedy. You had a job, and now you have nothing. Arthur lowers his head. I know. I am sorry. Jack stands up. The mystery is solved. The thief is caught. The real diamond is found. Thank you, Detective, Mrs. Green says. You saved my family treasure. There is one more thing to do, Jack says. He looks at the beautiful blue stone sitting on the table in the plastic bag. We need to put this back where it belongs. Jack opens the plastic evidence bag. He tips the bag, and the blue diamond slides out into his hand. It sparkles in the candlelight. It is deep blue and perfect. Here, Mrs. Green, Jack says gently. This belongs to you. Mrs. Green holds out her hand. Jack places the diamond in her palm. It is small, but it caused so much trouble. Mrs. Green looks at the stone. She does not smile. She looks sad. It is beautiful, she says softly. But look at what it did. It made Arthur a thief. It made Tom desperate. It put my loyal staff in danger. She closes her hand over the diamond. She looks at the painting of the ship on the wall. The safe is still open. The empty red box sits on the table. Are you going to put it back in the safe? Tom asks. He is watching the diamond closely. Mrs. Green shakes her head. No. I have learned my lesson. A house is not a bank. It is too dangerous to keep a treasure like this on Hill Street. What will you do with it? Bill asks. Tomorrow, Mrs. Green announces, I will take it to the Citibank. It will stay in their vault. And maybe I will sell it. Sell it? Tom gasps. But it is the Green family jewel. It is just a stone, Tom, Mrs. Green says firmly. People are more important than stones. She looks at her nephew. She sees his tired face and his old clothes. Tom, she says, I know about your debt. Jack told me about the sharks and the £10,000. Tom looks down at his shoes. He is ashamed. I am sorry, Aunt Mary. I was stupid. I gambled and I lost. Mrs. Green sighs. You were foolish. But you are my family. You did not steal from me. You did not attack Mr. Black. You just hid in the library. She walks over to Tom and puts a hand on his shoulder. I will pay your debt, she says. Tom looks up, shocked. You will? Yes, she says. I will pay the £10,000. But you must promise me one thing. No more gambling. You must get a job. You must learn to work hard, like Bill and Mr. Black." Tom nods quickly. Tears are in his eyes. "I promise, Aunt Mary. I will work. I will be better." "Good," she says. Then she turns to Mr. Black and Bill. "Mr. Black," she says, "I am sorry you were hurt. You are a brave man." "It is my duty, madam," Mr. Black says, standing tall. He touches his bruised face. "I am just happy you are safe." "And Bill," she adds, "you caught the thief. You saved the diamond. You will get a big bonus this month." Bill smiles. His face turns red. "Thank you, I just want a new shovel. Arthur bent my old one." Everyone laughs a little. The tension in the room is gone. Even Arthur, sitting in the chair with handcuffs, looks down with regret. He sees the kindness in the room, and he knows he lost everything because of greed. Suddenly, a sound cuts through the night air. Blue lights flash through the window. The rain has stopped, but the lights are bright. "The police," Jack says. He looks at his watch. They are late, but they are here. Jack picks up his hat from the table. He puts it on his head. "My job is almost done," Jack says. "I need to give Arthur to the police officers. And I need to write my report." Mrs. Green walks to Jack. She shakes his hand warmly. "Thank you, Mr. Jack. You are a true professional." "It was a pleasure," Jack says. He looks at the blue diamond one last time. "Just remember, Mrs. Green, lock your windows." Two police officers walk into the drawing room. They are wearing dark blue uniforms and hats. They look very serious. "Is this the man?" the tall officer asks, looking at Arthur. "Yes," Jack says. "Here is the evidence." Jack hands the officer the plastic bags. Inside are the white glove, the receipt, the lead weight, and the broken glass. "Good work, detective," the officer says. He pulls Arthur up from the chair. "Come on, son. You have a long night ahead of you." Arthur stands up. He looks at Mrs. Green one last time. "Goodbye, he whispers. Mrs. Green nods slowly. "Goodbye, Arthur." The officers lead Arthur out of the room. They walk through the broken front door, down the steps, and into the police car. The blue lights flash one last time, and then the car drives away. The sound of the siren fades into the distance. The house becomes very quiet. "It is over," Mrs. Potts says. She sits down on a chair and fans her face with her hand. "I need a cup of tea. A very strong cup of tea." "I will make it," Sarah says. She smiles weakly. "Tea for everyone." Jack walks to the window. The storm has completely stopped. The clouds are breaking apart. In the east, the sky is turning gray and pink. The sun is coming up. "It is morning," Jack says. He turns to the group. They look tired but happy. "I must go," Jack says. "I have not slept in 24 hours. Will you come back?" Tom asks. He looks like a new man. The weight of his debt is gone. "We can go sailing one day. I can teach you some knots." Jack smiles. "Maybe, Tom. But keep your knots for the boat, not for the butler." Mr. Black laughs. "Indeed, sir. No more knots for me." Mrs. Green walks Jack to the front door. Buster the dog runs beside them. He wags his tail. "Mr. Jack," Mrs. Green says, "you saved my diamond, but you also saved my nephew. You gave us the truth. How can I repay you?" My fee is standard, Jack says. Send the check to my office. And maybe. He looks at the garden. Maybe a rose from your garden. Mrs. Green smiles. She snaps a beautiful white rose from the bush near the door. She gives it to him. For you, detective. Jack puts the rose in his coat pocket. He tips his hat. Good morning, Mrs. Green. Jack walks down the driveway. The air is fresh and cold. The birds are starting to sing. Tweet, tweet. The world looks clean after the rain. He walks past the fountain. He walks through the iron gates. He steps onto the long road that leads back to the city. He puts his hand in his pocket and feels his notebook. The pages are full of clues, drawings, and names. He closes the book. Case closed. Jack walks into the sunrise. He is tired, but he is ready. Somewhere in the city, there is another mystery waiting for him.